is Trojan Football on your new home for Trojan Athletics, Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live is presented by Colgan Telephone, your community technology partner. Also by Ag Choice of Hepler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Bradshaw Collision Repair, Brumback Service Center, Call Service, Chicken Annie's of Girard, Chris Paoni, DDS, Community National Bank and Trust, Evans Motors, Exchange State Bank, Farm Bureau Financial Services, First National Bank, Fort Scott Community College, Girard National Bank, G&W Foods Family Super, Hydrix TV and Appliance, Canar Eye Care, Lehman Realty, Larrett Ceramics, Mathis Drug, McClellan Sanitation, Medical Lodges Girard, Mini Stop, Norris Outdoor, Pearls and Curls Boutique, Producers Cooperative Association, TJ Belcher at State Farm Insurance, and Westridge Assisted Living. This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live. This is Trojan Football.
And good Friday evening, everyone. Welcome to the weekend and welcome to week number 5 of the 2017 high school football season here in the CNC. BJ Harris along with Zach Adams, Josh Ledner here at Hutchinson Field, historic Hutchinson Field in beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, getting set for this CNC matchup between the Girard Trojans and the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers. Girard Trojans, of course, 1-3 right now in the season, 1-3 in the CNC, and coming off a tough loss last week, 41-7 to Galena. A couple of rough ball games for the Trojans. Trojans in that ball game a phenomenal first quarter, and it was actually forced 2 turnovers in the first quarter against Galena, but then the second quarter happened, and the second quarter was not good for the Trojans. In fact, that's when the majority of the scoring, 34 of the points for the Bulldogs came in the second quarter. We'll talk with Coach Philpott here in just a little bit, and he addresses the fact that they've got to play 4 quarters. 2 good ones in a row would be a good start for the Trojans, because they did let the wheels fall off of things last week against the Bulldogs. Likewise, the week before against Columbus, bright spots at times, but couldn't keep things consistently going and giving up a lot of points. So far, the Trojans, in their 3 losses this season, outscored 128-20, and in the last 2, 95-14. And so, not a lot of offense and not a lot of defense leads to a 1-3 record right now here on the season. But Zach, as we bring you in here briefly, last week, that first quarter, those first couple of possessions, I told some people kind of tongue-in-cheek around the Pitt State game last week, for about 9 or 10 plays, the Trojans were the best team in Southeast Kansas, and they looked like it at times in that first quarter.
Yeah, they came out hot. They came out firing. Defense was hitting, making plays all over the field, all swarming to the football, making tackles. Looked great. Had a lot of optimism going. And then it just kind of went downhill from there, and had a little bit of trouble recovering.
And the key for Coach Philpott is you've got to be able to, when bad things happen, don't let them turn into worse things, and then those bad things turn into more bad things, and it kind of snowballed on them, and that's one of the things they'll be working on here tonight against a very good St. Mary's Colgan Panther team that comes in at 2-2, but those 2 losses are to Galena and Columbus, so 2 of the same teams that the Trojans have lost to, but they played maybe a little bit better against those teams. They're coming off a 23-8 loss to Columbus on their homecoming night, Colgan's homecoming night last Friday night. Colgan finished in that ball game with 160 yards of offense, so that stifling Columbus defense was there as well, with 132 coming on the ground. Junior quarterback Cade Simmons, he led the way with 58 rush yards on 10 carries, 5.8 yards per carry, not too bad. Panthers gave up 302 yards, though, of total offense to that vaunted Columbus Titans defense. defense, or offense rather, including 261 yards on the ground. That might be a place where the Trojans can take advantage against this Panther defense. The Panthers are really fast. They're not real big, and that's going to be the problem for the Trojans, or for the Panthers maybe against this Trojan team. Maybe they can lean on them a little bit. Maybe they can grind on them a little bit, and hopefully not let them take advantage of their super speed that they do have. In that game against Columbus, 7 total turnovers, including 4 by the Panthers. If the Trojans can limit or get 4 turnovers on the Panthers tonight, they'll have a chance to get a win and try to get this thing turned back around. We are the halfway point of the high school football season. Still plenty more to come as the Trojans will look towards a district that is more than winnable, but it all starts tonight here against the Colgan Panthers. Still plenty more to come here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. I do have to tell you that Trojan football and Girard Sports Live is presented by your community technology partners at Crockham. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get gigabit. Get the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas with Crockham. To learn more, go to ruralfiber.org or see everything Crockham has to offer at ckt.net. And the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show is brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust. They've been serving the area for 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan instant issue mascot debit card. Community National Bank and Trust is proud supporter of Girard schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Up next, we're going to hear from the head football coach of the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers, his first year as well. A couple of first-year head football coaches tonight. We'll hear from Sean Seamatter next on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show on Girard Sports Live.
Colgan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in Southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Good luck, Trojans, from your friends at Crockham. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan instant issue mascot debit card. While you're there, be sure to ask about their e-power checking, mobile banking, and bill pay, and new Guardian Secure Checking. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC, and a proud supporter of Girard schools. Go Trojans!
Producers Co-op of Girard has been serving the needs of farmers and ranchers in southeast Kansas for decades. With a wide range of products and services, you'll be sure to find what you're looking for. Contact the Agronomy Center for seed recommendations, seed treatments, crop scouting, and more, or stop by the farm store for feeds, equipment, supplies, clothing, and accessories. Producers Co-op also has bulk fuels and propane available. To see everything Producers Co-op Association has to offer, visit them online at www.girardcoop.com or give them a call at 620-724-8241.
When I wake up in the morning, love, the sunlight hurts my eyes. Then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
This is Trojan football.
Welcome back to the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show here on Girard Sports Live. BJ Harris with you as we're leading you up to kickoff of the Trojans and the Panthers. And earlier this week, Trent Kling from MyTown Media got a chance to sit down and talk with the head football coach of the Colgan Panthers, Sean Seamatter, and talked about how his defense has really led his team so far, and that's what they need to do tonight against the Trojans.
I mean, same thing we've done the last few weeks. Played assignment sound football. It felt like the lone touchdown we scored was on a pick six, obviously, and something we'd worked on all week in practice and schemed for and felt like we could get. So, we went out and executed some things that we'd worked on and took care of, got lined up right, and everybody did their job.
Now, meanwhile, you look at the 4 games you guys have played, and you guys have played 4 games that have gone basically all 4 quarters. There was not a game to this point on the schedule where you guys could really take your foot off the gas pedal. How has that assisted in bringing some of the younger players that are seeing significant varsity playing time for the first time this year along?
Yeah, again, just get some big game experience. They're getting quality time because we're rotating guys in and out, and so they can't go in against another team's scrubs and take plays off or anything like that. And they're going in key situations and high pressure moments and just learning what it's like to play varsity football in a tough league and tough competition.
You mentioned rotating kids in and out, and that's something that certainly was on display in the Columbus game, especially as kids went out due to bumps and bruises. You were able to kind of fill gaps. How important is cultivating that depth early on in the season for you guys? Very important. A little bit we've kind of had to develop some depth by necessity, getting some guys nicked up early in the year and had to throw some guys in by the fire, but they've done a good job of adapting and jumping right in. It's only going to make us better when we get those guys healthy and we get later on in the playoffs, and we can get a lot of guys that we feel like can go in and give us good minutes at key times. We're talking with Sean Seamatter, head coach of the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers. This week you've got Girard and Neil Philpott's crew. Offensively, based on some of the film that I've seen, they tend to run spread or a little bit wider this year. What stands out to you about the Girard offense on film? Yeah, they do a lot of different things. Show a lot of different formations and run some different plays, and they're a little bit similar to us in what they're trying to do. And they're trying to outflank you with formations and then and read you. They do some nice things with their skill guys and getting guys in position to make plays. As far as the Trojans defense, what looks have you seen there on film? Very similar to what we've been seeing, a lot of 4-man front and some 5-man front. So, we told our kids we don't expect anything we haven't seen so far. Just got to continue to execute our stuff. In terms of offensive execution, I know obviously every week is a growing process, especially with a kid at quarterback that had been your starting fullback coming into the season. In terms of execution, in terms of making the right decisions, how would you assess the progress of the offense to this point? It's getting better each week. And I think it's been easy to see. Obviously we didn't score as many points as we would have liked to on Friday, but we moved the ball and we're definitely in position to score some points. Just few inches short here and there, but execution's continuing to get better and decision making's continuing to get better. We're just getting better each week, which is what you hope for. This isn't necessarily pertinent to this week's game, but I'm sure a lot of parents or fans would be slightly upset at me if I didn't ask it. Of course, the new KSHA classifications for different sports coming out in football next year. Colgan moves to 1A in football. As you look at that from an athletic director's perspective, did anything really move the barometer or catch you by surprise this week? Nothing really caught us by surprise. No, it's kind of what we were expecting, and not only for us, but for other teams around the league. Everything kind of fell where we thought it would. All right, and as we wrap it up here, Coach, bumps, bruises, how are we doing on the injury front? Getting better, getting a lot better. Nobody new dinged up this week, and the guys who are getting closer and closer to being back.
Straight Kling from ESPN 100.7 talking with the head football coach of the Colgan Panthers, Sean Seamatter, here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. Up next, we're going to turn our attention to the Trojans. We're going to hear from the head man for the Trojans, Neil Philpott. That's next on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show on Girard Sports Live.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Joe Murphy of Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the four-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between. Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburgh.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student-athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their number one goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judd Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members so they are able to make the best decisions. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, or Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
Girard Sports Live.
Welcome back to the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show here on Girard Sports Live. BJ Harris getting ready to talk to the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. His interviews are always brought to you by Brumback Service Center, 312 East St. John in Girard. Coach has the team all tuned up, so why not get your car tuned up at Brumback Service Center, offering oil changes, new tires, alignments, muffler repair, and country clipper mowers. Stop by and see the crew at Brumback Service Center or call 620-724-6770. Coach, coming off another tough loss last Friday night to the Galena Bulldogs, a really good Galena Bulldog team for sure. As you kind of went back and reviewed that ball game, what were some of the things that made the difference in the loss for your team?
No, we got to get out of the second quarter better. Yeah. You know, we played a great, I thought a pretty good first quarter, and on both sides of the ball. I mean, we let them kind of drive the ball a little bit there, but you know, we didn't break. We kind of bent a little bit, and we got a turnover, and you know, we're right back there. We're 0-0 through the first quarter. So, you know, we just gotta understand that you know, it's a long game, and we got to play the whole thing, and not just a quarter or a half. And we can't sit around and wait for something to go bad. And I kind of think that's, you know, we've got a little bit of a tendency right now that when something happens or a big play is given up or maybe a couple of touchdowns, and then we just kind of, you know, positive enough to say, hey, well, we can fight through this. And that was a conversation we had this week with our kids, and hopefully we can kind of get through that.
As you went back and looked at that, obviously you're talking about the mental part of it and some of the physicality part of it, but are there some X's and O's that are happening in those first quarters that or those good quarters and those good times that you can kind of use throughout the rest of the year, certainly here down the stretch?
Yeah, it's just execution. I mean, our guys are doing a better job. Even in the Columbus game too, going back to that, it was, you know, we had 10 guys doing the right thing and one guy kind of messing up something that was important, and that would be the one that causes a problem. So it's just to have all 11 guys doing their job, they're doing it well, and I think they see that they can do that after that first quarter against Galena, but it's just, you know, it's got to be an everyday thing, every rep thing. So that's we're working on that, and I think we kind of went back to the basics and as far as explaining what we're doing and why we're doing it, and here's this and here's that. Maybe now the second, third time they've heard it, maybe it'll make more sense and they can really kind of grasp it and understand that. So we hope to see some improvement there.
Yeah, as you're implementing a new offense here with kids that are, this is a much more complex, I would say, or different for sure than what they're used to. How important is it to teach the why as much as the what? Obviously, you can tell a kid to run to a certain spot, but how important is it to let them know why they're going to the position they need to be in to make the play successful?
Oh, it's very important. And then, you know, I've tried, you know, as we go along, I've always been a why guy. I told them this myself that, you know, the bigger picture, the whole thing of it is I don't know what I need to do, but I don't know what everybody else is doing too, so I can fully understand what's going on. And you know, not all kids operate that way, and we got to try to find a way to get that point across to them. And you've seen the light bulb click on for a few kids here and there as we go, as this process has gone. But you know, once they do, they're a lot better players for it, and so we're trying to get them all that way right now.
Obviously, this is a pretty rough stretch right now. A couple of pretty lopsided losses. What's the mental capacity there? Not the mental situation with your kids right now in practice. They come to work on Monday and kind of bounce back from that tough loss.
Yeah, it's been good. This week's been good, and I think we had a good talk with our guys on Monday and talk with our seniors and kind of just, hey, you know, what do we want out of this? Where are we going here? And if this is what we want to be, and this is where you guys say this this is what we got to do, and we got to prepare better. We got to, we got to prepare with a purpose and go out here and understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. And, it's coming around a little bit. And, like I said, this week of practice was pretty good. Our guys bounced around, even though we had a rain practice, which is always interesting. The energy level is always up, but it's always a little weird. So our guys handled it pretty well, and I think feel pretty good next game.
Well, they ought to be. This is one of those weeks. Every week's important, but as a guy who played for the Trojans, when you play the Colgan Panthers, that's a big week, and it should be. And you got to go to play them at Hutchinson Field. As you got ready for the Panthers, what do they do? First-year head coach as well. What do you know of them? What do you expect out of this ball game?
They're going to hang their hat on the triple here, and they do a good job with it. The guys are putting a new system just the way we were. They understand it, I think, what they're doing and how they're reading it and some of those things. And they got a big fullback. He's a young kid, but he's a big kid, and he's got good feet. And you got to stop the dive when you play teams like that, and can't let that haunt you all night. So you got to find a way to stop that and get things going from there. But got to be smart assignment football on the defensive side with that option attack and offensively speaking, we got to execute and we got to kind of hit what we're supposed to be and read what we're supposed to read and make a few plays here and there, and I think we'll be all right.
Best of luck tonight as always. Thanks for taking your time and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Head coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, joining us here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. We're going to step away, take another quick break. Still to come, your starting lineups, opening kickoff here from Hutchinson Field to Trojans and Panthers right here on Girard Sports Live.
Girard Sports Live.
G&W Foods is the one-stop shop for everything you need to feed the family. With a great selection of quality, fresh, and delicious foods, you're sure to find something to satisfy every appetite. With friendly and knowledgeable staff, the folks at G&W Foods can help you find what you need so you can get in, get out, and on your way with your day. Plus, don't forget G&W Foods for the great daily lunch specials. Open 7 days a week. Check out their weekly Facebook-only specials. The G&W Foods family super wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck.
When you're looking for Frigidaire innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Hydrix. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Frigidaire appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months.
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
You're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space. Look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
Mathis Drugstore Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drugstore, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
Are you in need of post-surgical therapies for yourself or a loved one? The employees of Medical Lodges are here to care for you. With over 50 years of serving the community, they pride themselves on having the therapy experience you deserve. In fact, Medical Lodges is the first healthcare company in the United States to be 100% employee-owned. So when you're at Medical Lodges, you're part of the family. Stop by one of their homes today and feel the Medical Lodges difference. For more information, check out medicallodges.com.
Norris Outdoor has a huge selection of quality billboards spread throughout Southeast Kansas, giving you the ability to put your business in front of thousands of customers daily. But did you know? Norris Outdoor can also be where you get your next digital sign for your business, school, church, or sports venue. Norse Outdoor Signs is now a distributor of Sky Slate digital signs, giving you direct from the manufacturer pricing and giving your business a brand new look with high-resolution digital signage. To learn more, call Jared Norris at 620-249-7462. Norse Outdoor is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
This is Trojan football.
And welcome back, everyone, live to Hutchinson Field in Pittsburgh. Getting ready for this CNC matchup between the Girard Trojans and the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers. B.J. Harris, Zach Adams, and Josh Lettner here with you. And getting ready for this one, got our matchups of the around the area. Those are brought to you by Bumper to Bumper of Girard, formerly Brenneman Auto Parts. Bumper to Bumper has been serving the Girard area since 1935. Come in and talk with Willie if you're in need for belts, Bosch brake pads, Wicks filters, Timken bearings, and so much more. Bumper to Bumper, 101 East Prairie Street in Girard. Got this ball game tonight, obviously a good one. Galena 4-0, really good team at Coffeyville, 3-1. Like Galena's chances in that one. Baxter Springs is at Riverton. That's a pretty good one for Baxter Springs. Southeast is off tonight. Frontenac 2-2 at Kansas City Harmon. Kansas City Harmon, a 5A school, getting ready to move up to 6A. So we'll see what Coach Smith has for Kansas City Harmon, a long road trip up to the Metro. And then Prairie View 2-2 is at number 1 Columbus, who is 4-0 on the season right now. Columbus rolling on it. We'll have some of those updated scores as we get through the day. In the SEK, around the rest of the area, Iola is at Parsons. Chanute is hosting Augusta. Fort Scott's at Labette County. That's probably the premier matchup, Fort Scott, Labette County here. And Anderson County, another one of those district opponents for the Trojans, is at Independence. Good one in 8-man Division I. Madison 4-0 at St. Paul 4-0. Good one in 8-man over there. And then Pittsburgh is on the road at Andover. Pittsburgh's at Andover tonight. That's a long road trip for Coach Nicholson and his crew. Pittsburgh, St. Mary's Colgan, as you can see, won the toss, elected to defer. The Trojans will receive to begin this thing. Let's get your starting lineups. Starting lineups are brought to you by Pearls and Curls Boutique. The Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at Pearls and Curls Boutique, a great new shabby chic boutique located next door to Sheer Expressions on the south side of the square in Girard. See all the new arrivals at facebook.com/Pearls and Curls KS. Pearls and Curls KS. Starting lineups first for the Girard Trojans, led by quarterback number 4, Kyler Siebert, 6 foot, 184-pound senior. Running back Camden McFarland, 5'9", 156, and a senior. The wide receivers are Gage Shirtano, Josiah Thomason, and Creed Curran. Creed works in there as a running back, goes in motion quite a bit as well. The tight end is Matt Saban, 6'2", 179, and a senior. And up front for the Trojans, 64 Wade Boatman, 5'11", 251, and a junior. He'll lead this Trojan offensive line that's got to have a really good ball game. Chandler Humble, Carter Doherty at left tackle. Chandler's at the right guard. Right tackle is Chase Bryant, and the left guard is Cole Cuthbertson, the starting lineup for the Girard Trojans. And so we'll get your starting lineups, your keys to the game here, Zach. Keys to the game are always brought to you by Fort Scott Community College. With more than 40 fields of study, there is something for everyone at Fort Scott Community College. Students can take general education courses or complete an online or on an associate's degree or certificate. Visit fortscott.edu or call 620-223-2700 for more information. Bring in my partner here, Zach Adams. Keys to the game.
Hey, BJ, going to sound like a bit of a broken record here, but we got to go back to the limiting the mistakes and holding down the big plays. Those will kill you. You're playing pretty solid, give up a big one. That said, I think we take it a step further and say they got to have short memories. They got to forget about it. They got to put it in the rearview mirror and move on.
Yeah, that's the part of being a color analyst. A broken record. I do Pittsburgh State games, and it's pretty much the same thing every week as well. So I should just have them record me and just keep playing it over and over again. Opening kickoff is brought to you by Larrett Ceramics, 503 West Maple in Girard. Stop by Larrett Ceramics for great gift ideas and supplies. Be creative when it comes to gift buying and get your friends and family a beautiful ceramic piece or maybe even classes from Larrett Ceramics. Call 620-724-8442 for that. Well, it's a beautiful night for some high school football here in southeast Kansas, in the football capital of Kansas. And the Girard Trojans are going to receive here. Girard trying to bounce back from a 2-game losing streak. A couple of lopsided ones between the Galena Bulldogs and the Columbus Titans. Nothing to hang your head at, though, Zach, as those are two really good football teams, but Trojans need a good thing to happen, some good things for them to happen today to try to get back in the winning ways. Right side is right-footed kicker going to pooch that one up there, going to be fielded up front. Trojans have got great field position to get this thing started on the kickoff there by Luke Orender, and so the Trojans are going to have great field position to start as they will have it at their own 41-yard line. Hash marks for yard markers. What a lovely idea that is. That's going to make our job much easier to mark those down. So at their own 41-yard line here as we get things underway in this one. Trojans will come with 2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 to the far side. Shotgun formation for Siebert. High snap, lose it on the ground. Trojans got to fall on it. Siebert does. They're going to give it to the Trojans, but barely. Siebert falls on top of it, and it will be no gain on the play. Could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse. Let's see if they can put it in the rear view, just like we said. Forget about it. Move on.
Yeah, those mistakes have been a hamper for the Trojans. When things have not gone well, they just kind of snowball out of effect. You heard Coach Philpott talk about that just a little bit on the pregame show. And now here come the Trojans. Same formation. I bet the same play. Send Curran in motion from right to left. Turn handed up the middle for Camden McFarland. Good run up the middle, across the 45, up near the 46-yard line. And a gain of 4 there for McFarland. And it will bring up a 3rd down and 6 here for the Trojans from the 46-yard line. Trojans had some success, moderate success last week, especially on their initial drive, running between the tackles. I think that's going to be their best bet. The Panthers are fast. You're not going to be able to run on the outside against them, I don't believe, but you may be able to run right at them. And so far, the Trojans get a 4-yard gain there. Here's Siebert, straight drop, looking to pass, flush, lets it fly. He's got a man. Nope, didn't have a man. I thought he was going to come over here to Thomason, was open briefly. Instead, overthrows his intended receiver. And that was intended for Curran. It'll bring up a 4th down, and it all starts with that first play. You know, your first play of the game, and is a bad-handled snap, kind of an off-target snap as well, and that just kind of stalled things out. And it will be a punt by the Trojans. Here on the opening drive of this ball game, he'll punt it away to the right side. Back to receive is Jeremiah Bush, as Caden Lallman's going to punt it away. Wobbly kick. I don't think it was blocked. I think it just came off his foot, but it took a really good Trojan bounce. And it's going to be down to the 25-yard line. And so that's where Colgan will take over at the 25.
You know, we've seen that in every game so far, just a little bit of problem handling the snap at some point in the game or the other.
So that's where the Trojans will go on defense here at the 25 of the Panthers. So little field position game perhaps, and a good bounce. It did not come off Lallman's foot very well. It may have been blocked, I'm not sure, but it certainly didn't look good coming off there. And so with 10:41, Panthers will have it. Under center, hard snap, free 5. Well, that's both sides of the ball. They've started not very good for the Trojans. There's an encroachment penalty on this near side. It's Clay Udock jumping off sides, and it happens. You get all geared up. It's a rivalry ball game, and the next thing you know, boom, 5 yards, and now a team was operating from 1st and 5 instead of 1st and 10. Just the Trojans on their offensive side were operating from 2nd and 10. Quarterback is Cade Simmons. He led him in rushing last week in that loss to Columbus. He'll be under center with 2 men in the backfield and a wing to the right side. He'll turn, hand it off. Nope, Jones drops, straight drop, lets it fly. He's got a man downfield. Gage Shirtano is going to be called for the penalty. Bad part is I don't think Gage needed to do that. I think he was in pretty good field position or a pretty good position on the receiver, and he didn't need to grab a hold of him. He had it well covered.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say he had good enough coverage. He didn't mug him like that.
Yeah, he got his arm on that back shoulder and pulled him and twisted him around, and that's not what you want to do on that situation. It was really good coverage down the field. Panthers taking a little bit of a shot. This new head football coach for the Panthers, Sean Seamatter, young guy coming in here. Panthers have had 2 head football coaches in almost 70 years, and
wow.
he's the next guy in line. So imagine trying to step into that situation and he's in his mid-20s, coming into there, run this one of the more legendary programs in Kansas high school football. And so he goes to a more traditional, you can see it here on the screen. I mean, that's a more traditional offense than you see normally on Fridays and especially on Saturdays. Send a man in motion from left to right as Simmons is under center. He'll turn, handoff, up the middle. Nope, keeps it himself, runs an option, still got it covered up with 2 arms, and a good run by Simmons. It's going to be a gain of 15 for Cade Simmons on the first carry of the ball game for them. And Simmons there, they have a running back, Jacob De La Sega, who sets up as a wing back. He goes in motion. He's coming out of the ball game right now. And in comes Cal Marquardt. But then Max Wilson's in the backfield, and the fullback is Dominic Bevilacqua, a freshman fullback, big body up there in front for him. He'll be around for a while. Send a man in motion. That is Marquardt. Turn, handoff, Bevilacqua hit hard and brought down. Well played. That's Clay Udock all over it. Hard hit on that one, right in the hole for the Trojans.
Yeah, you mentioned the size. You know, you can definitely see it when these lines go up against each other. That if they're going to have they're definitely going to have a chance to have the size advantage against these guys if they try to run up the middle on them.
Just got to win the battle in the trenches. Trojans trying to do it here. Simmons will go under center, one wide receiver to the near side. Wing to the near side is De La Sega. Turn, handoff, keep it. Simmons up, trying to bounce off some tacklers. Hard tackle, hard run. Trojans got to make that play at the point of attack. They were there, and Simmons just too good on dragging defenders. He's going to be just shy. Nope, they give him a heck of a spot, a really good spot, and move it across the 35-yard line and up to the 35, just across the 35. It'll be a first down. First geese on the move of the season I've seen so far, Josh. Over there to your left. Get that. That's more important than the game. I'm just kidding. Here's Simmons. He's going to keep it again. He's got some good ability to read it. That time he kicks it, and it's going to be brought down for maybe a gain of 1. That's off to De La Sega. Wow, you missed him. There he goes.
Hey, I can hear him out here.
Yeah, you can hear him. Off they go into the horizon, into the sun. Oh, the sun sets to the other way.
Yeah.
There they go.
And they're heading back north.
That's the wrong direction, boys. A gain of 1 there on the play. Simmons runs his offense really well. He rides it up inside there, and it's triple option attack. It's like I said, this is people of old school football tastes will enjoy this ball game, especially from the Panthers side. For me, it's easier to call because it's something I'm used to. Simmons will settle up underneath there. That offensive line is in a phone booth. Turn, handoff, end around, wide open. This is what it'll do for you, too. Big run off the near side. That's a run up there for Bush. Yeah. Bush down the sidelines into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. Just like that, it's a 34-yard touchdown run. 34-yard touchdown run there.
Yeah, De La Sega gave him the block that he needed, just sprung him. The only one that had a chance for him, and he put him on the ground.
You have to be so disciplined in against this type of offense because all the motion went right, the ball came back left, and everybody collapsed down. And when they did that, it was wide open for an easy touchdown by De La Sega in the early 6-0 lead on a 34-yard TD run. And it'll be a point-after attempt on the approach as Luke Ornder. One-step approach, let it up and through, and Jeremiah Bush on the touchdown run. The kick is up, and it is good by Ornder. And so 8:32 to play in this first quarter. The Trojans fall behind 7-0. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard High School Football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Football.
Peony Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Peony DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Peony has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Peony Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to peonydental.com.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
This is Trojan Football.
Ball's kicked away. Trojans are going to get very good field position once again to start this drive up across the 35, up near the 36-yard line. Ornder on the kickoff, and Trojans covered up nicely, get it up there on a return up across the 35, up near the 37-yard line. And so that's where the Trojans will take over on offense. And again, Zach, they started off that last drive with a mistake on the first play of the ball game and never really recovered from it.
Yeah, switch over to defense, mistake on the first play. Hopefully we can just call it jitters and get them out of the way.
So that's where the Trojans will take over. Going to keep it on Siebert, trying to cut up inside and drags forward, a gain of a couple up across the 40-yard line. And well played there. The loudest clapper in Southeast Kansas is sitting right next to that mic. A world-class clapper. There, right down there. I found him. He's good.
Hey, it's even louder out here.
Goodness.
I don't know if
He is very good at that. That's a 3-yard pickup there on the carry by Siebert. It'll bring up a second down and 7. Here are 2 wide receivers to the near side, one to the far side. A wing and Saban to that left side as well. Siebert, one-step drop, turn, let it fly. He's got his man Shirtano up near the 50-yard line. That's a good play for the Trojans. And a first down, the first down of the ball game. It's an 8-yard pitch and catch. More than that. It's about a 9-yard pitch and catch up near the 49-yard line. And it'll bring up a first down for the Trojans. And so Girard
See, that's kind of execution you want to see. Good, crisp, clean route, nice tight throw, clean catch, and move the ball a couple yards further after the catch.
Yeah, they're going to need those quick up and run, just pop up. Here's a new set for the Trojans. 3 running backs in the backfield, turn, handoff. McFarland, second guy through. He's got a good run up across midfield. He's inside Panther territory, and a gain of about 4 on first down and 10 at the diamond inverted wishbone set for the Trojans. And then we will give officially a gain of 4 on that play for the Trojans. And so it'll bring up a second down and 6 for Girard from the Panther 47-yard line. Same formation, 1 wide receiver near side. Snap back to Siebert, turn, hand off McFarland again. Penalty flag's going to come flying, and that's going to be a holding penalty, I think, against Austin against the Trojans, who got in there, and he will come right out of the ball game as he got a hold of somebody and held him, I believe, coming down into the box. And so, well, the football gods giveth and the football gods taketh away. And this drive was starting out so well. Now you've got a penalty. It's just part of the problem, Zach. We talked to Coach Philpott. He recognized that they have a hard time bouncing back from adversity. But part of the problem is that they're offensively, they just haven't been very good this season at times. And when you get yourself in a hole like they've got themselves now on a second down and 18, it's going to be difficult for them to dig themselves out of it. So some of it is the situations they put themselves into, and some of it is the fact they just haven't quite got the offense going where they want it to. And so now they will bring up a second down and about 16 or 17 back to the 43-yard line. So we'll see what they've got drawn up here. You don't have to get it all on this play. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far side. A wing to the near side is Saban. Pistol set for Siebert. Turn. Nobody's going to keep it himself. Good read by Kyler, and he'll get a couple back as he will get it across the 45 up near the 47-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 5 on the play. And it will bring up a third down and 12 for the Trojans. 6:22 to play in the first quarter. Opening quarter of this one, the Trojans and the Panthers. And right now the Panthers have an early 7-0 lead after they drive it down on their opening drive and punch it in on a 34-yard touchdown run by Jeremiah Bush. Here's Siebert on 3rd and 12. Rolling to his right, being flush, lets it fly. He's got his C-man, he's just out of his reach. Another really good route by Gage Shirtano to get open, but unfortunately Siebert missed him, and that will bring up another 4th down, another punting situation.
You know, where that ball came through, though, if that come down just a little bit further where it was catchable for him, it might have a defensive back's hand right on it, too.
Yeah, it was going to be close, but so far Gage has found a way to get open, so that's something the coaches upstairs are keeping track of and saying, hey, that might be something we go to later on. Caden Lulleman going to set back at about his own 33-yard line to get this one. A good snap, plenty of time, lets his foot into it. A good away from, going to kick it away from Bush, and no return on this one, out of bounds once again, and so that's where this drive will end. And it will remain 7-0 as the Panthers will take over deep inside their own territory once again. So once again, very good field position for the Trojans, at least, this time inside the 20. But Colgan last time had no problem overcoming that field position before. And so this is where they'll be at with 5:46 to go in this first quarter. Moving from right to left as you watch it there here on Girard Sports Live. Simmons will settle under center. 1 wide receiver near side, 2 men to the backfield. Turn, handoff, nope, keep it. Simmons, he was on the ground. He should have been down. Fumble! They're going to say it's a fumble. No, they're going to say he's down. I was going to say, well, that was nearly a darn good break for the Trojans, but Simmons was down when he flipped that up. Now, they kind of waited long enough to see if it was going to develop perhaps for them. I don't know, but they blew the whistle. Got to blow that whistle when he hits the ground, and they did finally whistle it dead. So now a 2nd down and 1. I think Simmons just kind of lost his footing. He may have got tripped up underneath there. Those big guys up front for the Trojans. Cole Cuthbertson is the tackle, and Chase Bryant the other tackle. Clay Udock on one side and Chandler Humble on the other side. Simmons under center. Hard count. Turn. Handoff, second guy through. Stood up easy, Trojans. Nice play there. They kind of made a big pile in the middle. And Austin No comes down. Austin did not play last week. He had a really decent ball game against Columbus, as good as they could in a 54-7 loss, and had a sack fumble for the Trojans to end that first half. He got injured in that game, so did not play last week, and they missed him defensively. What it did do is it opened up an opportunity for Caden Lolliman to get on defense, and what he do, he showed he can play at the varsity level, and he came in last week against Galena and made his number be called several times, so there he is in the heart of that defense at that linebacker spot as a freshman. Turn, handoff, Clay Udock all over it. He brings him down. Austin Knows there to clean it up. What a good drive by the Trojan defense to answer back after they gave up a long drive. And when you start marking down things the Trojans have done in this ball game, that's a good one. Made them go backwards. It'll bring up a 4th down and 14 here for the Panthers in a punting situation.
I think we saw a little bit of what we were talking about there. We just saw them maybe overrun them a little bit on the sides there, right on the inside, and push them back.
Yeah, they got some good penetration up front. Clay Udock had a great possession that time, and he'll go to the sidelines, get a much-deserved break, and the Trojans will bring on the punt return team. Cam McFarland stands inside Panther territory. Trojans nearly get a block. I think he might have. Matt Saban, I think he got a hand on it. Saban did. Now the Trojans have themselves a gift.
Yeah.
They are going to have phenomenal field position here with 3:38 to play in this first quarter. This is the kind of response to adversity we talked with Coach Philpott about, and the Trojans were gashed on the opening drive, but now the Trojans are going to start this thing at the Colgan 28-yard line.
Coach has got to love this. This has got to be what he's been preaching all week about bouncing back after making mistakes and just finishing the entire quarter, the entire half, the entire game.
This thing's not finished till you get an offensive score here. Turn, handoff, keep it. Siebert right up the middle, running right at the Panthers. He breaks the tackle across the 15, at the 10, at the 5, toward the goal line. He's going to be just shy. No, they say, just shy. 1 yard gain, or 1 yard shy of that. It's going to be a 27-yard run by Kyler Siebert on that first carry. He broke a tackle about 4 yards into the play and was able to drag an offender and then break another one down inside. What a big play by Kyler Siebert.
You got to love that. That's got to be, go a long way to get him hyped up and get him ready to punch this in.
You got to get in the end zone. Trojans were sniffing it last week. Let's see if they can do it here. Kyler Siebert under center. He'll belly underneath there. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to be hit, but he's going to fall into the end zone. Does he have it? No, going to be shy just again. I say line up and let him do it again because he got face-to-face with that defender who was in there, number 58, Luke Ornder, and drove him backwards. So let Kyler do it again. Don't get fancy here. You got that ball on the goal line and a chance to try to tie this ball game up. Let him get under center and drive it right at the heart. Trojans have the size advantage up front. Let him use it. Siebert's going to go up under center once again. Trojans trying to get on the board. Siebert under center. He'll fall forward. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans. His head coach, Neil Philpott, did that for a lot of touchdowns in his career. 6'5", 200-plus pound quarterback. They like to lean up on there and get those easy touchdowns, and they made him work for it. But what a good response. First, the stop defensively. Then the maybe blocked punt on the play by Saban, and then the big play by Siebert. He did all the work on that one. He had 4 straight carries, and he got the Trojans into the end zone. 3 straight carries. And now it'll be Cam McFarland on to kick this one, and Panthers are jumping off sides. And I'm going to tell you what, Zach, that's important because that's the first offensive touchdown in the middle of a game that's close for a while. All the way since that Riverton game early on because they scored in special teams against Columbus.
Right.
And then last week, Cam broke one off late in that ball game that didn't matter.
It's real similar to the first quarter of the last game, except with, they went in and finished. They managed to punch it in instead of that big turnover that really set them back. So I'm curious to see and watch it and see how that they respond coming out on defense after they kick it off to them.
Yeah, it's one thing to battle back from adversity. It's another thing to more play well when things are going your way, And so far we see a little example of that right here as now Cam's going to have to line this bad boy up and kick a 25-yard field goal on the PAT because of the illegal false start. Nice snap. He'll get it in there and shanks it. Trying a little too hard, and we will stay 7-6 But the Trojans answer back, 2:42 to play in this first quarter. Trojans respond. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard Trojan football right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Chicken Annie's Girard is a proud supporter of Trojan athletics. Chicken Annie's of Girard serves up the area's best fried chicken and a whole lot more. Check out their weekly specials like chicken and noodles on Wednesdays, Thursday nights kids nights, and Friday boneless wings. Oh, and don't forget about those delicious homemade pies. Stop in or enjoy their mouth-watering favorites at home with carry-out and catering available. Chicken Annie's Girard, continuing a Southeast Kansas tradition. Learn more at chickenanniesgirard.com or call 620-724-4090.
This is Trojan football.
Stand to be recognized.
2:42 to play in this first quarter. Girard Trojans and the Colgan Panthers. Trojans answer back after the Panthers take their opening drive down the field and score. Trojans get a stop defensively, a punt block, short field. They took over at the Colgan 28-yard line. They go 3 plays, 28 yards. Took almost just a minute off the clock, a little less than a minute. Took 56 seconds off the clock, and the Trojans answer on a 1-yard touchdown run by Kyler Siebert. Fake the punt or the end around on the reverse. Trojans trying to cover it up, and they will. Swarming the defense, swarming all over them on the kickoff coverage team. And a nice play there for the Trojans on the play by Derby McReynolds, the 5'9", 143-pound sophomore, staying with it. And a penalty flag comes down as well. This is probably going to cost the Panthers a little bit more even. No, they're going to call it against the Trojans. That's where they point in that direction, the official does. Do we lose control over the lights? One switch runs them all. One switch runs them all. Okay.
It doesn't seem to be affecting the camera too much. We got quite the setup tonight.
Unsportsmanlike. It's all right. It'll work. We look good.
Yeah. I get to enjoy the weather.
Yeah, I don't. So unsportsmanlike penalty. That's going to cost them. That's unfortunate for the Trojans because they were going to once again have them pinned deep. I don't know what that would have been, but Panthers will have it at the 33-yard line. Toss sweep, far side, trying to get to the edge. Cut back against the grain. Good pursuit by the Trojan defense once again and ridden down. Nice play. Austin No's making a big difference in this ballgame. They did miss him a week ago, Zach.
Yeah, he's definitely coming back and made his presence known early. I was just wondering, we'll have to go back to the tape and check on that penalty, but maybe there's just a little of that language down there in the pile or something.
I don't know. It came as the play was happening, but still just a 4-yard pickup there on the run on that right side for the Panthers. Max Wilson, haven't touched the ball yet for him. Simmons will go under center. He'll go under turn. He's going to keep it himself. Penalty flag coming in. That'll probably be in the position of a hold once again. So it's going to be a good run for Simmons all the way up to the 42 yard line of the Trojans, maybe the 44, but I'm betting this is going to be a holding penalty. All the guys in blue are going backwards. Trojans, I don't think any of them saw the penalty flag there. And shot block, actually, block below the waist, going to be the call against the Panthers. And so, that's a design of this type of offense is blocking below the waist. Now, there's a legal way to do it and an illegal way to do it. You can't be engaged up high and have a guy go below and hit you. And sometimes it's not planned. It just happens that you're engaged and then the guy rolls up behind and they call a chop block. It was a point of emphasis for the college game a couple of years ago, and if it's at the college game, it's certainly going to be at the high school game. And so block below the waist is going to be the call, and it's going to bring them back. That's a huge one because that's a penalty of, I think, 10 yards from the spot.
Not only that, races that big run. They caught that at a good time.
Huge play for the Trojans. That'll back them up and bring up a second down and about 17 now for the Panthers. All the way back now, the ball sits at their own 26-yard line. High formation. Fullback is Bevilacqua. Hand off to him. He's hit, brought down. Not much momentum going forward. Again, the interior piece of the defense for the Trojans. Clay Udach's been on it quite a bit. Down inside. Helped out for the Trojans. Inside there for Girard on that play as well was Cole Cuthbertson. We've said his name quite a few times as well. And again, the strength of the Trojans is interior. They're going to run away from Chandler Humble as well as much as they can, too. You'll watch that as they'll try to go away from him. Trojans don't flip. They stay true. A lot of times you'll see these guys have a strong side and weak side, but they just stay true right in the left end. Bush is the wide receiver to the far side. Wing is De La Sega. Fullback, turns, dropping a pack. Simmons, flushed, trying to escape, running downfield, trying to look down the field. And he'll be knocked out of bounds, and the Trojans get another defensive stop across the 35, and another penalty flag sits out there in the vicinity of a hold. If this is a hold, I would suspect Coach Philpott will decline it and take the play. But you also look at field position. It's at the 35. It's a spot foul hold. You back them up inside the 20 and have them punt. But it will be just illegal procedure. And you'll decline that. They may not have an opportunity. I think that's one is a dead ball foul before the snap, or yeah, he'll have an opportunity to decline it. Because it was not at the dead ball, it was at the start of that play, I'm guessing. And so it will be a fourth down and back-to-back stops for the Trojans against the Panthers. Here's another thing I love about this option offense. We're almost a quarter into this game. And the speed of it is just so much faster. When you do those games on Saturdays with the Gorillas and both teams are passing it, well, what did we pass on first down? 21 times last week. That was just on first down. You know, you're gonna have a lot of dead stop balls and stop time, and so the clock has not stopped much tonight. Yep. Well.
High snap,
high punt, really high. Trojans got to get away from it. Don't let that thing hit you, and this will be the worst field position of the ball game for the Trojans. But you know what? They've got the ball back, and that's something they did last week or 2 weeks ago against Columbus. Zach, if you remember, Columbus went down the field on their opening drive, scored. It looked like it was going to be bad early on. Trojans answered back with a defensive stop, but then they couldn't score, and then when the Columbus got the ball back, they went down again. This time the Trojans respond, and hopefully you're seeing a little bit of a turn of the core. Coach Philpott, when I interview him, I bet he says it, the light bulb's starting to switch on. He's mentioned the light bulb switching on for these guys, and he threw a lot at them in the preseason, just to learn, and it's going to take a little bit of time, and hopefully tonight we're seeing it. But this drive would be a huge one for the Trojans. Trojans start at their own 28-yard line. Shotgun for Siebert. Turn, handoff. McFarland, nothing doing on that play. It'll be no gain. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Trojans. The other thing is, Zach, is avoiding that big mistake. And you don't want to keep harping on it, but it has been an issue for the Trojans at times this year. And
yeah, I'm not trying to jinx anybody, but this is kind of the time in the previous games where it's kind of reared its head.
Well, if you don't want to jinx anybody, get out of broadcasting, because we have the Midas touch when it comes to making bad things happen.
Everything bad gets attributed to you, but none of the good, right?
That's right, exactly. I'm an offensive lineman. It's always been that way. Send a man in motion. Here goes Curran. He'll turn. Siebert, hand up again up the middle to McFarland. And if you're watching this, and I used to watch these games with my mom from time to time, she'd sit there and watch, what the heck are you guys watching? She'd see guys run into the line like that and just go, what are they doing? It's just they keep doing it over and over again. It is a good play if it goes forward just because it keeps them honest in between the tackles. And so that's the way we're going to end the first quarter. Trojans and Panthers all knotted up as close as we could get. 7-6 is your score after one. We're back in 1 minute. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Football.
First National Bank of Girard is proud to be the oldest bank in Crawford County, serving the area since 1878. With 139 years of experience, it's no surprise First National Bank of Girard has such a great reputation for quality customer service. First National Bank of Girard is committed to providing the best quality products and services, including online banking and bill pay, loans, CDs, and more. Use the convenient drive-up window or come on in and see all of the friendly faces at First National Bank of Girard, a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics.
Colgan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
This is Trojan Football.
7-6 your score after one quarter of play. Here we go into second quarter from Hutchinson Field, historic Hutchinson Field in downtown Pittsburg, Kansas. Trojans and Panthers. So far, a pretty good one. One quarter under the second quarter has been the Trojans' nemesis. Let's see if they can get going here. 3rd down and 10. High snap. Siebert pulls it down. Intercepted. Well, that's exactly what we were talking. And a return by De La Sega. Ripped out of bounds. And the Panthers going to have very good field position on this drive.
Yeah, I think I get to claim that one as my first jinx.
Yeah, yep, that's the way it goes. That's Jacob De La Sega on that play, and that's not a great way to start the second quarter. Of course, I said here goes in the second quarter, and that's been a problem for the Trojans. So 11:53, and now the Panthers are going to be knocking on the door already.
You got De La Sega coming out, looking like he's hopping, favoring one leg.
He also still had the ball, carried it all the way to the sideline. And he is going to come off the field. He got ripped out of bounds, and that's what happens. So the Panthers will have it at the Girard 14 here with 11:53 to play in this first half. Ball loose on the ground. Simmons to his back. He's going to have to fall on top of it. And a mishandle there. Trojans lose it, or the Panthers lose it going backwards. And well played by Girard. I think Chandler Humble was on top of that early on and made him driving back, and that's going to be a huge loss of the play back beyond the 23-yard line. Here's one that could be turn a bad thing into a good thing if you can turn this and stop them and keep them out of the end zone defensively when they had such good field position. 2nd down and 19 now for the Panthers as they move from left to right.
Yeah, that could be a big confidence booster for a defense that's been struggling the last couple games.
One wide receiver to the near side is Bush. Straight drop, they'll go to him. Spot pass, that sometimes can be, Creed was off to the races. If he scoops that up and goes and it's backwards, that was real close. It was a forward pass, but if it's backwards, gone. Creed Curran's going to the house, and so incomplete pass. All of a sudden now the Panthers, who started this drive so promising, are looking at a
4th and 20.
4th and 20 here on this possession. And they have it 3rd and 19 officially, so that's what we'll say here for the Panthers.
I skipped it down. That's what. Well, we'll let you keep calling the game.
There you go. 3rd down and 19 here for the Panthers. Shotgun formation for Simmons. 1-step drop, pump, go. Throwing down the field, well covered by the Trojans initially. And he dropped it. He did not have it. We'll see if they call it. No, they're going to say he caught it. See, that's the thing about inconsistency. Last week at Pittsburg State, that would not be called a touchdown because you have to finish it all the way through the play. But this time they call it for this team, and that's going to be a great example. I'm glad we have that on video.
Yeah, on video. It looked like he got it. He got a foot down and took a complete step. So
it doesn't matter though. Now the game calls it for Pittsburg State last week. They had a touchdown. Guy caught it, went to the ground, rolled over, ball came out. They said incomplete pass. That's exactly what happened right there. But they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and let him have a touchdown on 3rd down and 20. A 3rd down and 20. I don't know where that ball was at out the 30-yard line, so about a 30-yard touchdown pass. PAT is up and good and makes it 14-6. Boy, the Trojan defense bend, but eventually broke, and now the Panthers have a 8-point lead. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Football.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Joe Murphy of Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
This is Trojan Football.
Colgan Panthers convert on a 3rd and 20 at their own at the Girard 28-yard line. On a 28 ends up being a 28-yard touchdown pitch and catch from Cade Simmons to Jeremiah Bush. I'm going to say under protest from this broadcaster, but that's the way they call it. They don't have the benefit of the extra officials. They don't have the benefit of the replay or anything like that. And that's my argument against it at the college game. If that's the way you're going to call it, then you need to go to the instant replay in the college football game, even if it's Division II. They have instant replay in college basketball at all levels. Why can't you have it in college football if you're going to call things that close? Because my philosophy is if the ball breaks the plane and you have possession of it when it breaks the plane, it's a touchdown. And that would have been the case there in this particular instance. But that's not how they call it, and it's inconsistencies across the officiating ranks, and that's what ends up causing some frustration. But A good conversion by the Panthers. Now the Trojans will again, they'll have to face adversity and bounce back. Here's a new kicker in. It's going to be another pooch kick, going to be fielded and returned there, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous for them because you get it to Chandler Humble, and apparently they didn't watch the film against Columbus because Chandler runs like a beast, like he's possessed or something whenever he gets that ball, and he was frustrated because he knew he had one guy to miss or one guy to break and couldn't do it.
You know, we've said it a couple of times already. We're not going to be surprised one of these games when he checks in at fullback or something and just takes the ball right up the middle.
No, I just think honestly, I think it's a matter of time before that happens, but the Trojans will have it at their own 36-yard line. Here as they move from right to left, shotgun formation here. Ty Norris is going to check in at quarterback for the Trojans. Nope, that's Siebert still. He'll keep it himself. Good hard run up across the 40, up near the 46. They're going to say he's down. Siebert lost it at the end of that run. Trojans lucky that it did end up hitting the ground. It'll be a gain of 6 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 for the Trojans. Trojans need to answer back here. Plenty of time. 10:38 to play in this second quarter. 14-6 your score. Trojans trail. 1 wide receiver, 2 wide receivers will go to the far side. Inside out, it's Curran and Thomason. Shirtano split out to the near side. McFarland joins in the backfield with Siebert shotgun. Turn, handoff, McFarland, good hole, and then covered up in a hurry. Boy, looked like it was open, and then it closed in a hurry. Well played by the Panthers, Dominic Bevilacqua. And that for a freshman. Whew.
Yeah, he just picked him up, slung him down.
It's not normal to be that kind of at that size and that physical. Boy, that kid looks good. He's going to be a good one for the Panthers as a freshman, lining up over the ball there and coming down the line on that particular play in this 5-man front for the Panthers. Thomason to the right side. Tied in near side is Saban. 3 men in the backfield. Austin No checks into the backfield for the Trojans. Turn, handoff, McFarland. Got to make one guy miss. He'll drop his shoulder and fall for it. He's got a 1st down. It's a good one for the Trojans. Only needed a couple. Only needed 1. And he ended up picking up 4 on the play. We'll call it 5 on the play up near midfield. Well blocked on the near side of the play side by the Trojans. And it'll move the ball and make it a 1st down for Girard.
You got to love that when a running back McFarland's size goes in there, just drops his shoulder. That doesn't have got him another yard.
Yeah, and he wasn't on the side where the stick, so he probably didn't know exactly where he was to get the 1st down. So, hey, I need to drop the boom and go get it. And so he did, and Trojans moved the chains up near midfield. Shotgun here for Siebert. Siebert's going to keep it himself. Up the middle, another good hard run up near the 45-yard line. He's inside Panther territory. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 5 for the Trojans. This is good old American football here. I mean, it's like I'm cleansing the palate tonight off of the stuff I've watched on Saturdays for the last 4 weeks. It's nice to be able to see line up and play football under the lights on a Friday night. We've seen some passes, and for the Trojans, one of those ended up being an interception. So you want to limit those.
We're liking this 2nd and 5 a whole lot better than what we've seen in the last couple plays or couple games.
That's right. Siebert again, good read right at the middle of the heart of the defense across the 40, up near the 35, 30 inside Panther territory, deep inside Panther territory, up near the 33-yard line as we're going to mark that down. It's a good run there from Kyler. And it was a gain of about 15 yards there for the Trojans. And it'll bring up a 1st down and 10 for Girard, marching down the field once again. 8:45 to play. This Panther defense has been pretty good against most of these teams this year, but they're obviously 2-2 for a reason. They've given up some yardage to some of those teams like Galena and Columbus. Trojans have played those teams as well. Turn, handoff, McFarland, trying to get some running room, and just not much there. A gain of 2 on the play. And it will bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Trojans. Bring up the 6th play of this drive. 8:20 to play. In this first half, Trojans trail 14-6. Panthers scored on their opening drive of the ball game. Trojans did get a stop on the Panthers' 2nd drive. They turned it into points. They made it 7-6, and then the last time the Trojans were on offense before this drive, they threw it away. Interception. Panthers took advantage of the short field 1 play later. 1 play later. 3 plays later, rather. They had to convert on a 3rd down. High snap for Siebert. Lets it fly down the field and behind the intended receiver for Creed Curran. He had to kind of reach back across his body. And on 2nd down and 8, they throw it down the field. And Boy, he was open. If that ball's put in the right spot, it's like you said a little while ago, Zach, if it's put in the right spot, it might be picked off because it needed to come a little bit more over the middle, and I think he threw it away from that defender. And so it will bring up a 3rd down and 8 here for the Trojans. I think it's 2-down territory at this point, so you don't have to get all of it right here, but certainly get a few yards and keep it positive, keep the ball moving in the right direction.
Well, you look at the drive chart, it's run up the middle. Nothing fancy, not trying to outsmart yourself, keep chipping away at it.
That was the first pass of this drive. Now the 7th play coming up. Siebert sent a man in motion. It's Curran. He'll go to the backfield. Now Siebert going to throw it, put it on the ground for Curran. Got to try to make a guy miss. Creed had nowhere to go with it. That was very dangerous by Siebert. He's lucky. If you're not playing on field turf, that play doesn't happen because that ball hit the turf and bounced right into the hands of Creed Curran. If you're playing
like
it
basketball,
if you're playing it Frank Jameson Field, that thing died on the ground, and it's a loss of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 12. And so that's backwards. That's officially a run, right?
Yeah,
because it's a backward pass, so it should technically be a run, I believe. It'd be the same as an option. Doesn't matter if it goes overhand or underhand. And so a timeout going to be taken by Coach Philpott. Good use of a timeout, I would say. 4th down and 12 inside Panther territory at the 35 when we return. 7:13 to play in the first half. Trojans trail by 8. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Football.
Girard National Bank brings you community banking at its best. Family owned and operated for over 80 years, Girard National Bank is committed to providing their customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way. Whether you require personal, business, or agricultural services, Girard National Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. Girard National Bank is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
This is Trojan Football.
Back out here to Hutchinson Field, 7:13 to play in this first half. Trojans trail by 8, looking at 4th down and 12 as we return after the timeout by the Trojans. And a tough break here on a couple of plays. Trojans need to convert on a 4th and long. Might play field position and just back him up and have him pooch kick it, but they're going to go for it. Siebert driving, looking downfield, lets it fly, throws it underneath. He's got a man. Shirtano got to make a guy miss, and he can't. Boy, he was going to be close if he could just get his body turned around, and they turn him around, and it ends up being a good gain of 10 on the play, a 10-yard pass, but it ends up being 2 yards short. Man, he almost spun off of him to keep that alive. Instead, it's a turnover on downs, and the Trojans can't convert.
You know, I think he made a good decision there, trying to spin and get a little bit more, because if he'd just gone straight, he'd have been a little bit short.
He ends up being short nonetheless, and the Trojans will be on defense here after that one. Panthers will start at their own 25. Turn, hand off to Wilson. He's going to be hit and brought down, and he is stroked. Chase Bryant flat, drives him to the ground, and that is going to be our hit of the game. Brought to you by Bradshaw Collision Repair. If a deer ends up tackling your car like Chase just tackled that Panther player, take it to Bradshaw Collision Repair. Bob Bradshaw offers refinishing, paintless dent repair, glass replacement, and more. Let Bradshaw Collision Repair get you back in the game. Call 620-724-7300. Wilson going to get it again up the middle, this time spinning off one would-be tackler and close to a 1st down. The first one's a gain of 6, this one's a gain of 4. And so
Chandler Humble with the tackle.
So the Trojan Panthers will get the 1st down to start this drive in 2 plays. All to Max Wilson. They haven't really carried. He hasn't carried the ball much. He's one of their workhorses inside. Big body kid, really athletic. Good basketball player as well for this Panther team. Most of them are. And it will bring up a 1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Nose of the ball just across it. This drive's so crucial for the Trojans to keep them out of the end zone and just try to go into the locker room only down by a score. Simmons will settle under center here for the Panthers. Again to Wilson, and well played. Clay Udock coming down from that right side DN spot. Helped out there by Wade Boatman as well for the Trojans. A good play by that interior defense. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play to bring up a 2nd down and 9. 5:48 to play first half. 14-6 rather, your score. Trojans down by 8. Keeping pace with the Panthers. Colgan's 2-2 on the year. Their 2 losses to Galena and Columbus. Their 1 win is against a team the Trojans have played as well, and that's Frontenac, and that was a really eye-opening victory for them to beat the Frontenac Raiders 20-0. Here's Simmons under center. Ball's everywhere, loose. Simmons going to try to break out of there, and they got to call something. Yeah, that's if you're the Trojans, I say take the play if you could, but they won't. They're going to call it dead. It's going to be a false start against the Panthers. And Simmons is he's a pretty good player. He's just kind of a scrappy kid and trying to make something out of nothing there, but it was blown dead because of the false start. And I think that's one of those examples. It's going to be a false start on the center. I think he's the guy who moved before everybody else did. We don't get the numbers. And
yeah, they're jumping all over the place, and people didn't. Yeah, that was blown up from the get-go.
So it'll end up being backing them up 5. So instead of 2nd down and 9, it'll be 2nd down and 14 here for the Panthers. 5:13 to go in this first half. Trojans trying to hold once again defensively. Nearly had a stop the last time when they gave up the short field, but a big 3rd down and 20 conversion on a 3rd and 20 from the 28-yard line ended up giving the Panthers this 14-point scoring difference. There's everything bottled up inside there, and Bush makes one guy miss. Well played. He breaks another ankle. Now he makes another guy miss. What a nice play there by Bush, still making guys miss. All the way down the field he goes, and he'll finally brought down, but a good gain. 10, 20, 30. That's right at a 40-yard run, 39-yard run by Jeremiah Bush. 39 yards to break that one loose. The Trojans just couldn't quite get him stopped.
Well, that's going back to that speed you talked about at the beginning of the game. BJ, we've got to see a blast of that.
Yep, and they kind of looked bottled up inside because a couple of guys ran into each other, and I think that might have helped him because I think the Trojans over-pursued when they really didn't need to. But then Bush made a couple of guys look silly out there in the open field, and now the Panthers are in business. Simmons under center. Going to keep it himself. Pitches it outside. Ball's loose. Trojans are nearly on top of it. It was still loose. They're going to say they blew it dead. Nobody had possession of the football. That's poor officiating on that one because nobody had possession of that football. It was still loose. You've got to make sure it is possessed by somebody, and that's unfortunate. You can hear the Trojans.
Yeah, that was
on the far
that's as
side.
bad as officiated as you'll see in any high school football game.
That was unfortunate for the Trojans there because now they're going to try to sort it out, and they kind of go to 2nd down. Cade Simmons is a bit of a gambler, you can tell on this plays, because he's throwing that ball as if he's going down to the ground and put it on the deck of the Trojans. Darn it, you got to get a few breaks every now and then. That time they're not able to do it. And so here come the Trojans back on defense once again. Looked like they had an opportunity. Simmons will get it. Little spot pass, throw it out. Ball hits the ground. It's going to be incomplete. And it's incomplete because it had to go forward. It went forward. If it went backwards, that's not an incomplete pass, but it went forward. And so it'll be an incomplete pass nonetheless. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 15. Officials on top of that one. Again, that's a fine line because that thing's coming down the line. If it's just slightly backwards, it's a backwards pass. But instead, it goes forward. And it brings up a 3rd down and 15 here for the Panthers. Trojans trying to hold here. 3:39 to go in the first half. Down 14-6 here on the road. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Full house, 2 men in the backfield, either side of the shotgun set for Simmons. Straight drop, 2 steps, lets it fly out. He goes, well played. Great. Kyler Siebert all over it. And a pass breakup by Kyler Siebert to bring up a 4th down.
He's another half step ahead of that, and he's headed the other direction for a long ways.
That is exactly right. He was coming up on it quickly. Well read by Kyler, bring up a 4th down. We'll see what the Panthers decide to do here. And this may be one where they play field position as well. At the 37-yard line is where the ball is set. 3:35 to play. They give it back to the Trojans here. They're going to have plenty of time to make up the difference here. if they punt it, which it looks like they're going to, here's a situation. This is a textbook time to fake a punt. I mean, this is as good a time as ever to fake a punt. Jeremiah Bush will be back at the 30 midfield. Trojans get some pressure. Wobbly kick. It's going to be bounced up. Trojans got to get away with it. Boy, they got lucky. Creed Curran nearly got hit with that ball. And it is going to be a good Panther roll, and it's going to be down all the way inside the 5-yard line. But you know what? You forced a punt, and you kept them out of the end zone here late in this first half. Now go make something happen of it if you can right now. 3:22 to play in the first half. Girard will have it at their own 4-yard line here with this 3:22 mark. This is one of those situations, too. It's a bit pessimistic to keep mentioning it, but it's a bad place to give up a mistake. And so try to keep this ball moving forward on a 1st and 10 from, they officially give it to him at the 5. And so that's where the Trojans will have it. 2 wide receivers far side, 1 to the near side. That's Thomason. Shotgun set here for Siebert. He stands with his heels on the goal line. Send a man in motion. Siebert going to keep it himself up the middle. He's got some running room. Up across 15, up near the 17-yard line. Another good run by Kyler Siebert. Zach, for the first time in a couple of weeks, you're going to have actual fun totaling up halftime stats, because that is a gain of 12 for Kyler Siebert up to the 17-yard line, and a first down for the Trojans, and a little bit of breathing room here in this first quarter. Now all of a sudden, you kind of shift your momentum from just don't make a mistake. Let's drive this football here with 3:07, 2 timeouts, plenty of time for the Trojans. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side is Thomason. Man in the backfield was Siebert. Saban's the wing to the right side. Here's Siebert. Turn, handoff McFarland. McFarland just trying to get going. Camden just has not had a lot of success yet tonight, but Cam's one of those guys, you keep feeding him the rock. It's like I was saying there before the end of the first quarter. Just keep feeding him the rock, and he'll bounce one of these times. It's a gain of 1 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 here for the Trojans from the Panther 18-yard line. 2 wide receivers on the near side. Inside out, it's Curran and Shirtano. Thomason will be split out to the far side. Saban has a wing to the near side, and Siebert's in that shotgun. Fake it to McFarland, going to keep it himself, and Kyler kind of bobbled that ball a little bit and ends up just kind of following the blocker. The blocker was Saban as he came from that in spot, that wingback spot, and kind of led block on the play. So Kyler's talking about something he saw the defense do that he didn't like, but it's gain of 2 on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 here for the Trojans. And right now, if you're Coach Seamatter for the Panthers, you start thinking maybe about timeouts. They've got 3 timeouts left. Trojans only have 2. And you want to preserve a little bit of time. Trojans, Siebert, shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Siebert going to hand it off, and it is bottled up. No problem. Trojans got to block that better. Well played by Cash Marietta Jr. coming in there and a penalty flag on the play right at the line of scrimmage. And this might be an example of where we'll see who to call it on. If this is against the Panthers, this is Kyler Siebert's complaint, but it's not going to be at the Trojans. He was saying something there to the official, and I was saying maybe sometimes those pay off. You can work the official a little bit. Not that I ever did that.
No.
But it will bring
you
up
never needed to, right? No penalties
right.
on you.
Yeah. I wish. So it's going to back them up. They'll decline that penalty most likely. It'll be a loss of the play of about 4. And it will bring up a punting situation, and they are going to call it timeout by the Panthers and try to preserve some time. Minute 36. Trojans just didn't run enough time off the clock. That's going to be a timeout. We will go ahead and take it. Trojans trail by 8 here on the road against the Panthers. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Football.
G&W Foods is the one-stop shop for everything you need to feed the family. With a great selection of quality, fresh, and delicious foods, you're sure to find something to satisfy every appetite. With friendly and knowledgeable staff, the folks at G&W Foods can help you find what you need so you can get in, get out, and on your way with your day. Plus, don't forget G&W Foods for the great daily lunch specials. Open 7 days a week. Check out their weekly Facebook-only specials. The G&W Foods family super wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck.
This is Trojan Football.
Back out here, minute 36 to play in this first half. Trojans are in a punting situation, 4th and 11, inside their own 20 at the 16-yard line, and so you got to be careful. Caden Lallman will step with his foot at the 1-yard line is where he's going to receive this football. And the return man is Jeremiah Bush. We've already seen what he can do offensively on a big touchdown run he just had a little while ago. Or a big run he had a little while ago, but the Trojans stalled that out. This is going to be another good roll by Lallman. He's going to roll this down inside Panther territory. And it'll be inside the midfield, inside Panther territory on the punt. Here with 1:23 to play in this first half. So the Trojans need another defensive effort here to try to get in the locker room only down by a touchdown.
It's getting to the point where, you're starting to ask a whole lot of your defense here and see if they answer the call.
1:23 to play in this first half. Trojans down here 14-6 is your score. Trojans trying to hold one more time. The defense has been pretty good at times, giving up a couple of big plays. It's been the difference, but they've been pretty staunch at times in this ball game. The wing to this near side is Connor Price. Shotgun for Simmons. Straight drop, looking flushed. Now looking downfield. He wants Bush again. Throw it up. Ty Norris goes up there. Nearly caught, nearly intercepted, nearly caught, then nearly intercepted. And then it hit the ground. And the ground usually wins those. Jeremiah Bush, he's good with the ball in the air that time. The Trojans looked like they were going to be dead to rights on it. He came back, kind of played defense on that play. And so the Trojans defend that one well, and the Panthers come out winging it down the field. I thought maybe they would try at least one run play.
That kind of looked like a Hail Mary, except they're sitting on the 30-yard line instead of the end zone.
One way to get a big chunk of it. Here's 2nd down and 10 from the 45. 2 wide receivers again. Inside out it is Marquardt and Bush to the near side. Max Wilson to the backfield. Simmons rolling out, looking downfield. Going to throw it short. Nearly intercepted again. Kyler Siebert. Well covered. Boy, these Trojan defenders in the secondary have been really good here against this Panther team for the most part here tonight. And so that's going to be a point hopefully we'll talk with Coach Philpott about, is these guys keeping up with these fast receivers for the Panthers. 14-6 your score, 1:09 to play. With 2 timeouts now the Trojans have, if they throw another incomplete pass, the Trojans got an opportunity to get this ball back here with a little bit of time left on the clock. They're going to bring a big body out. And they have to put a new guy in. And that's all kinds of, they've had him on the field, I guess it's official, but Jeremiah Bush in there, they were all kinds of out of sorts. A penalty flag going to come in from that far side. I don't know who that's going to be. If what it is this guy on the near side who was coming in was in motion, so it'd be a legal shift, is what the officials indicating there, and what's going to be right. So they're running a guy on, and he's got to be set for at least a count. I knew it couldn't be legal what they were trying to pull off there, but it looked like they're going to let that play stand. Trojans decline it, get the ball back with 1:03 to play. Well, you won't get it back with 1:03 because they still got to go through the punting situation.
But how big is that for the Trojan defense out here to step it up, avoid the big plays, avoid the mistakes like we're talking about. They go into halftime down by a little bit, but in a lot better position than they could be given some of the field position that the Panthers had.
And for me, it's that means to an end. Well, what are you doing to improve to be better as you get towards the end of the season? And one of those things is 2 quarters in the books that the Trojans have done a pretty good job in this ball game. And so we will see if they can get out of this first quarter. High snap, but going to be pulled down by Bush. He'll put that right foot into it, off the foot. Trojans going to have very good field position. That goes out of the locker room. Coach Philpott immediately starts lobbying for the spot. He gets a good one. Well played. 46-yard line is where that one went off. I mean, that thing went longer side to side than it did end to end, and that's where it's going to go out of bounds at the 46-yard line. And so
you got to love the way the ball bounces out here on the turf. This thing is just like a hot potato.
And so that's where the Trojans are going to have very good field position with 57 seconds to play in this ball game. 14-6 your score. Trojans down by 8. That's pretty much where it's sat for quite a while in this ball game. Shotgun formation for Siebert. He'll straight drops, got some time, lets it fly, throws it underneath, and just threw it into the turf. That was pretty well covered as I looked down across the formation, and a little bounce pass about 8 yards downfield. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Now, what you don't want to do here, Panthers have 2 timeouts. You don't want to give them any time.
Yeah.
So if you think you got a play drawn up that you can get open down the field, you do it here. But if you don't, you maybe just run it, see what you can get. Draw plays are always great in this kind of situation.
Hope something breaks free.
Hope something breaks free because otherwise they're going to give some time back to the Panthers. Here's Siebert, 2 wide receivers to the near side. Straight drop, going to let it fly, throws it out, and we've ran. This drive started with 53 seconds to play. Was it 53? 56, 57 seconds. Started with 57 seconds to play in this half, and they have ran 8 seconds off the clock. And now it's 3rd down and 10. This is not great situational awareness by the coaches for Girard. I know you think you can get a big hitter here and get a touchdown, but also you don't want to give up a touchdown late in this first half, and this is where it's going. There it is. Siebert's going to fall on top of it. Trojans, give it up. Panthers have it. Well, it turns out B.J. Harris, who's called several hundred football games, sometimes knows, and that you can feel that coming.
Well, but you're not as young as you once were, BJ, so don't hurt your shoulder patting yourself on the back there.
I will, and I do have bad shoulders from all of that, but, it's just I saw it coming. And
sometimes you outsmart yourself a little bit. You get feeling good, and yeah.
If you're at the 45 inside Panther territory, I think you have a couple shots at it, but you're in your own 45, and that's different. So now all of a sudden with 2 timeouts and 43 seconds left, the Panthers are in business. Simmons will be under center here as Trojans moving around. He'll roll to the near side, looking downfield. Lets it fly. He's got Bush. He can make something happen in the open field. He'll go out of bounds, corralled out of bounds by Creed Curran. And so if the Trojans can get out of here just without giving up any points, it'll be a big stop for them. 37 seconds to play.
2nd down and 2 from the Girard
and the
yard line.
Panthers will have it 2nd down and 2 here inside Trojan territory at the 28. 37 seconds to play first half. Trojans down by 8. Got to play the deep ball as well. You don't let anything get back behind you. Simmons will send a man in motion from right to left. He'll drop straight back, lets it fly. He's got his man again, Bush. This is them just putting the ball in the hands of one of their best athletes and letting them pick them apart for the Trojans. That's going to be a gain of 9 on the play. Up inside the 20, up to the 18-yard line. It'll bring up a 1st down and 10 for the Panthers with 33 seconds to play in this first half. Well, this defense is being called upon once again. For the Trojans, the defense is pretty much made up of all guys who play on the offensive side of the ball as well, with a few exceptions. And so they've had to turn right back around and get going again.
Coach Philpott's been a bit of a gunslinger as a player. Got to maybe regret that a little bit. Could have been in the locker room at this point now.
Yep, now Coach is going to have to take a timeout, try to stop this a little bit. 33 seconds to play in this first half. 14-6 your score. Trojans trail by 8 with their backs against the wall when we return. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Football.
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the 4-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between, Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburg.
This is Trojan Football.
Trojans just trying to go into the locker room, only down by 8. Right now they are up against it. Panthers have it 1st down and 10 from the Trojan 18-yard line. 33 seconds to play in this first half. Panthers have gone to Jeremiah Bush 2 straight times on this drive, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try it again. He's on the near side here. Wide out. Simmons right at Bush. Same play. They ran the exact same play 3 times out of bounds, and well, here's what they're going to do.
Set up the run.
Nope, they're going to fake that pass, and then he's going to run past the defender, and he'll be in the end zone standing there by himself. That's what they're setting up on this right here. And if you're Creed Curran, you got to be ready to go, buddy, because that's what's coming your way probably on this play. They'll pop it out there, and he'll run by you. But you got to defend it because now you're so close to the goal line that you got to be up on him because if you give him too much, he'll run past you. And so they've got Creed in a pretty tough situation here on this near side. He's trying to go head-to-head with him. He'll be about 5 yards away from him here on this near side. Here's how much it is. Josh is even going to get him in the frame here on this Simmons. Now they're going to look the other side. Throw it in the middle, and it's caught. Touchdown. Well, or that. It went right, and then went back left, and it was into the end zone. And that ends up being a 12-yard touchdown pitch and catch. And it went to Cal Marquardt. 12 yards for Cal Marquardt, number 18. And it will give the Trojans something to think about if they go into halftime. 20-6. Does not look near as good as 14-6 did just a moment ago. 24 seconds to play, and it goes back to two passes when the Trojans had the ball a moment ago. Kicks up, and it is good. 21-6 your score. Trojans trail with 24 seconds to go here in the half. We're back at 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard High School Football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Football.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent TJ Belcher in Girard today at 620-724-4558.
This is Trojan Football.
21-6 is your score. Girard Trojans trailing the Colgan Panthers here after one half of play, nearly 24 seconds left in this first half. Trojans trailing. And they just couldn't help themselves. They're late in that ball game. Panthers end up going on a 4-play. 37, no, that started at their own 37-yard line. That drive did. It was a big play to Marquardt, and it only ended up taking them, it only ended up taking 19 seconds to score. It took about 20 minutes of actual lifetime, but it ended up taking 19 seconds off the clock because he just kept running to the edge to that pass to Bush, and it made the Trojans pay, and now the Trojans, they'll get it back. They need to just run one time and get in the locker room. And a first half that has been really good for the Trojans, one certainly to build on, is not going to end that way here for Girard as they will get it with 19 seconds to play. They've had very good field position throughout this ball game. I think their worst field position, they had one that started at their own 5. I'd say that probably wins. They did have it before that. They had really good field position throughout the first quarter. That one that started at their own 5 is the only one that's really hasn't been great. And right now they'll have it at the 40-yard line with 19 seconds to play. And I would say you run this thing up in between the tackles and go to the house. Thomas into the wide side to the short side of the field. 2 wide receivers to the wide side. Siebert under center. Turn. Handoff. McFarland, going to keep it himself. Kyler's had a really good first half. He's trying to break some tackles and just tripped up. Boy, if he doesn't get tripped up, that is going to be a good play for the Trojans. Cal Marquardt on the tackle, and that'll wind the clock down. That should be the end of the first half. So the end of the first half, the Trojans trail 21 to 6 here to the Colgan Panthers. We'll talk about it next year on the Girard National Bank halftime show. The Trojans trail here at the break. We've got, you look around the area for some area matchup. We've got your halftime stats, all that and much, much more still to come here on the Girard National Bank halftime show. Girard National Bank bringing you community banking at its best. Girard National Bank is committed to providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to Girard National Bank. We'll talk about it next here on the Girard National Bank halftime show on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Football.
Girard National Bank brings you community banking at its best. Family owned and operated for over 80 years, Girard National Bank is committed to providing their customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way. Whether you require personal, business, or agricultural services, Girard National Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. Girard National Bank is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service as their trucks crisscross Southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Calls is the first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
This is Trojan football.
Welcome back out here to Girard National Bank halftime show. We're at historic Hutchinson Field in downtown Pittsburgh. The Girard Trojans, Colgan Panthers here in this one. Right now, the Panthers have the advantage 21-6. Trojans, pretty good first half for the most part, but those couple of letdowns have made them pay so far as we get ready to head into the second half in just a little while. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but let's first have a look at our Kenara Eye Care. Eye on the game. Brought to you by Kenara Eye Care, thanks to the support from their community. Kenara Eye Care has nearly doubled their space. They've extended their hours with locations in both Pittsburgh and Girard. Kenara Eye Care is the clear choice. Give them a call at 620-235-1737. at the halftime break, 21-6. We'll come back and take a look at your halftime stats and look at some scores from around the area. That's next on the Girard National Bank Halftime Show right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Are you in need of post-surgical therapies for yourself or a loved one? The employees of Medical Lodges are here to care for you. With over 50 years of serving the community, they pride themselves on having the therapy experience you deserve. In fact, Medical Lodges is the first healthcare company in the United States to be 100% employee-owned. So when you're at Medical Lodges, you're part of the family. Stop by one of their homes today and feel the Medical Lodges difference. For more information, check out medicallodges.com.
Norris Outdoor has a huge selection of quality billboards spread throughout Southeast Kansas, giving you the ability to put your business in front of thousands of customers daily. But did you know? Norris Outdoor can also be where you get your next digital sign for your business, school, church, or sports venue. Norris Outdoor Signs is now a distributor of SkySlate digital signs, giving you direct from the manufacturer pricing and giving your business a brand new look with high-resolution digital signage. To learn more, call Jared Norris at 620-249-7462. Norris Outdoor is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
Chicken Annie's Girard is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. Chicken Annie's of Girard serves up the area's best fried chicken and a whole lot more. Check out their weekly specials like chicken and noodles on Wednesdays, Thursday nights kids nights, and Friday boneless wings. Oh, and don't forget about those delicious homemade pies. Stop in or enjoy their mouth-watering favorites at home with carry-out and catering available. Chicken Annie's Girard, continuing a Southeast Kansas tradition. Learn more at chickenanniesgirard.com or call 620-724-4090.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Joe Murphy of Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
This is Trojan football.
Back out here at Hutchinson Field in Pittsburg, Kansas. Girard Trojans right now trail the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers 21-6 here at the halftime break. The Trojans trying to snap a two-game losing streak, and the Panthers, they are trying to get above 500 right now. They're 2-2 coming to this ball game. Trojans had some opportunities in that first half, but struggled. But all in all, I think offensively, not too bad at times in that first by the score of 21-6. We're going to take another break. We'll come back. We'll look around the area, get you some scores throughout southeast Kansas and one from northwest Kansas when we come back here on the Girard National Bank Halftime Show on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season. Paoni Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Paoni DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Paoni has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Paoni Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to paonidental.com.
Producers Co-op of Girard has been serving the needs of farmers and ranchers in southeast Kansas for decades. With a wide range of products and services, you'll be sure to find what you're looking for. Contact the Agronomy Center for seed recommendations, seed treatments, crop scouting, and more, or stop by the farm store for feeds, equipment, supplies, clothing, and accessories. Producers Co-op also has bulk fuels and propane available. To see everything Producers Co-op Association has to offer, visit them online at www.girardcoop.com or give them a call at 620-724-8241. Mathis Drug Store Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drug Store, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
This is Trojan football.
Back out here in Pittsburg, Hutchinson Field, getting ready for the second half of this one. The Girard Trojans and the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers. 21-6 is your halftime score. The players have taken the field on their mandatory 3-minute warm-up. We'll begin in about 20 seconds, but do have time to give you your halftime scoreboard update brought to you by Brocob Construction, where they specialize in new home construction. To learn more or to get a free estimate, call Matt Brocob at 620-687-2381. Matt Brocob, I say pound for pound, the best. He said I got his size wrong. I saw him out and about, so I don't know. He said the height was right, and I don't remember what I said. 5'8", 5'9", something like that. 245 pounds.
245
no.
now.
I don't know.
Well, it catches up to you when you get a little older.
Down front, Jeff. The guy just decided to stand in front of him.
Hey, Jeff, you're right in front of our camera.
Yeah, talking right into it. That's what you get.
Yeah, you never know what to expect on the Panthers sideline.
The beautiful mug of Jeff Wilbert there joining us right into your living room. I hope that didn't make you, hope you're not eating right in the middle of something like that happen. Anyways, your halftime score is brought to you by Brocob Construction. A good one over in Labette County, with Labette County and Fort Scott. That could be the one that determines the SEK title. Those are probably the two best teams in the SEK, Labette County and Fort Scott. Labette County, 14-0 on top of Fort Scott. That surprises me a little bit, Bob Campbell, in that one. Pittsburg and Andover Central, and a good one at halftime as well, 6-0 your score. Pittsburg, of course, not a part of that SEK race because they play an independent schedule, and so they'll be out at Andover Central and getting all they can handle in that ball game. Cherryville all over Neodesha. That's a good rivalry ball game between those two teams, 34-0 Cherryville. And those guys have them going. Coach Harry Hester with the Chargers. Columbus all over Prairie View. Prairie View struggling a little bit, 47-0. And Chanute and Augusta in their ball game. Augusta 14-7 over Chanute. And then our normal update that Josh goes and gets from Northwest Kansas and Coach Philpott's alma mater in Norton, all over Southwestern Heights, wherever that is, 56-0. And the Trojans right now in this one trail the Panthers 21-6. Don't forget, we got Guerrilla football coming your way tomorrow as well as the Gorillas try to bounce back from a tough loss last week against Lindenwood as we welcome in the Washburn Ichabods, whatever that is. They'll be playing at Kearney Smith Stadium coming up tomorrow. Pregame coverage, our Gorilla Game Day will start at noon with myself and Mike Snow broadcasting from the parking lot, and then Eddie Lomshek will start with the pregame show, and then him and I will have the call from Kearney Smith Stadium beginning at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. They're inside that beautiful venue. Trojans right now, though, they trail 21-6, trying to bounce back in this second half. But, Zach, we talked a lot about the Trojans facing adversity. How do they bounce back? And, well, I think for the most part, it'll be a nice, if things maintain, they can do the same as they did in the first half. Now, obviously, you don't want to be down by this score, but it should be promising for Coach Philpott when we talk to him after this ball game, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, it should. It should, and realistically, they took some chances maybe. They might have cost them that extra score, so maybe the score shoulda, woulda, coulda, but, might not be as bad as what it looks out there.
Certainly. I would agree with that as well. Second half kickoff is always like the first, brought to you by Lyric Ceramics, 503 West Maple. Stop by Lyric Ceramics for great gift ideas and supplies. Get creative when it comes to gift buying. Give them a call today. Sign up for classes. Lyric Ceramics, 620-724-8442. Trojans going to come out a little trickery right off the bat and give up a little field position, but maybe try something, and nearly executed. Fell on top by Bevilacqua, but it will be a Panthers with the football. And there's another reason, too, and I think that goes back to that first half, and I'll try to give it up after this. But when the Trojans get the ball back with 57 seconds left, not only are you recognizing the fact that you can't give up the ball and give up the score there, but you got to know they're going to get the ball coming out of the locker room, and so you give a chance to twofer on that deal, and that's what they're trying to guard against right now as the Panthers start at their own 45-yard line here to start this second half. Pass out, Jeremiah Bush, who else? He's touched the ball 1,000 times, I think, in that first half. But Trojans, good swarming defense that time to try to limit, as they do limit to just a 5-yard gain. And it will be a second down and 5 for the Panthers as they set the ball here. 11:40 to play, third quarter. Trojans trail 21-6. Panthers moving from right to left. Cade Simmons, a very serviceable quarterback. He'll settle up underneath center. I formation. The deep back is Max Wilson. Turn, keep it. Simmons, turn up inside there on cue. Across the 40, 35, 30, still on his feet and losing his footing inside the 25 up to the 28-yard line. I guess Cade told me serviceable. He'll take that and take it for 27 yards. All the way down to the Trojan 23-yard line. A 27-yard pickup on the second play of this second half, and the Panthers are in business once again. Bush will be the wide out to the far side. One guy in the slot for the Panthers, and I formation. Turn, handoff, big fella up front is Bevilacqua, and it will be a short gain on the play, maybe 2 on the play. No more than that. He'll get a 3-yard gain to bring up a second down and 7 for the Panthers. Just underway, second half here from Hutchinson Field. Colgan Panthers and the Girard Trojans in a CNC matchup. Trojans have made some strides in this ball game at trying to avoid going down by 3 full scores here. Simmons under center. Turn, handoff again. Nope, keeps it himself. Throw it up inside there. Well played by the Trojans. I tell you what, Kyler Siebert's had himself a good ball game offensively. He maybe has had a better game defensively in this ball game, and so some strange things would have to happen for him not to be our mini-stop player of the game. But right now, the Trojans are played that well. A loss of 1 on the play on the carry by Simmons, and it will bring up a third down and 9 here for the Panthers. Run a guy off, 2 wide receivers near side. Simmons will step back in a shotgun with Wilson to his right now. Penalty flag going to come in. Illegal substitution. Breaking the huddle with 12 guys is what I'm guessing is going to be the play here as they run out of the huddle and run a guy off, and that's not legal. I think that's what they're discussing just to make sure. I think the white hat goes over to clarify that, and illegal substitution is the call. And I don't remember learning those hand signals for officials. I don't, in my life, I never sat down and looked at a book that I remember. I think I did it as a kid. I think my mom told me one day she just caught me reading officials' hand signals, but I don't remember, and it's just like inert, like they put their hands on the head. I just know that's the call.
Well, there's just some hand signals that you've seen your whole life. You just know what they mean.
What happens
when
is
you're driving.
My wife's that's a good one. I know that one. My wife tells me she uses that one as well. But here's a handoff in around to Bush. Coming to the near side, trying to pin the corner. Penalty flag's going to bring it back. Yep. Creed Curran was struggling just to try to break free of a block there, and he couldn't do it, and they call a touchdown, but it's going to be coming back. But it's the fact that I know what that is the reason I can't remember to do anything else. That's what I try to tell my wife. But Trojans are going to get bailed out there. Boy, that was a pretty nice, well-designed play, but when it finally did get to the edge, Trojans couldn't bend it, and there was a reason why. And so a couple of penalties here for the Panthers going to back them up. That was 3rd and 14, and that'll back them up another 10 yards and bring up a 3rd and 24 when they finally mark this one dead. It's a spot foul. They marked it from the spot of the foul, and so it won't be 3rd and 24. It'll be 3rd and a while, though. 3rd about 19 for the Panthers. Boy, the Trojans' defense could stop them here after giving up that big run by Simmons. It could help some momentum that they need to try to get back into this ballgame. Only down by 2 scores, but just trying to get something going offensively. 2 wide receivers far side, 1 to the near side. 2 men on either side of quarterback Cade Simmons. Snap back to him. He'll roll to his right side, looking downfield. Trojans give a little pressure, throw in the middle of the field. Caught, and he'll make up a big difference of it on the pitch and catch to Marquardt. He had the touchdown right before halftime. That was a long pass, 19 plus 3. Plus 4, we'll say. So about a 12-yard, 13-yard pickup there up to the 20-yard line on the pitch and catch from Cade Simmons. And he will bring up a 4th down. Trojan defense needs to hold here. Bush will be the guy to watch, and Marquardt to the far right side. Wilson will come to the near side. He'll line up on the line of scrimmage. Velva Lockwood to the right of Simmons. Simmons, straight drop, look down the field, pump it, lets it fly, incomplete. Trojans hold defensively. What a big play there by the Trojan defense. They got a little bit of pressure on Simmons, made him force that football. When it went behind him, they couldn't make the play, and it's a turnover on downs by the Panthers and a good hold by the Trojan D.
Hey, that's a huge stop to come out of this locker room. Come out of here, step it up, and get the ball back and give themselves a chance to go out there and score and close this gap in the score.
Trojans end up turning them over on downs here with 8:36 to play in this 3rd quarter. It was a long drive, but it ended up a long drive time-wise, but ends up no points. Now the Trojan offense needs to turn it into something. Siebert's been in the quarterback the entire time in this one. This is why. Good run off left side. Cuts against the grain up across the 25, up near the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, maybe even 6. A gain of 6 for Siebert. And Trojans have been going to a 2-quarterback set, and Siebert, as I say that, you want to talk about curses, Zach. I said he's been in, as he's running that ball, I said he's been in the game the whole time, and now he comes off hobbling with that ankle. Boy, that's a tough blow for the Trojans. He has had himself a good ball game, but I bet you he rolled his ankle the way he's operating right now, not really wanting to put any weight on that left ankle. And so Trojans have ran 2 quarterbacks throughout this ball game, and Kyler just not putting any weight on it.
Yeah, well, that's super unfortunate for him. At least they do have the advantage that they have had somebody that's in there that's had some reps, and it wouldn't be just coming in cold. But you hate to see him come off like that.
He finally does, and now he's going to finally kind of walk. Oh, I don't know how that happened. That's a miraculous improvement from not putting any weight on your foot to all of a sudden kind of lightly jogging to the sidelines. And, boy, that's a big thing for the Trojans. But you're right, Zach. Your point is to be made there that Ty Norris is going to come to the ballgame at quarterback. He hasn't played yet today in this ballgame, but he's played many, many snaps. I wouldn't say half, but probably, a third of the snaps this season for the Trojans. And he'll be lined up in a shotgun formation, probably in a pretty good situation here, 2nd down and 4. He'll send Curran in motion. He'll come right across the motion. Handoff. Farland, boy, he just couldn't quite get it. He had to make one guy miss, and he can't. Good tackle there by Alex Herod, who makes that tackle.
Yeah, Herod just reached up, grabbed a shoe, and got him right as he was stepping over him.
And so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 here for the Trojans. And the Trojans trying to just get a 1st down. That's all you need to do right here. 3rd down and 2 from your own 28-yard line. 2. Saban is the wing to the left side. Norris still in at quarterback. Turn, handoff, McFarland. He's got the 1st down across the 30 up near the 31-yard line. Moving the chains. That's all the name of the game here in this ball game. The Trojans will keep it alive here. Moving across the 30 up near the 36-yard line. Or 31-yard line, excuse me. 7:14 when they wind the clock here in this third quarter. Trojans trailing 21-6 to the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers here on the road.
What do you get there, BJ? You think 4 yards?
About a 3-yard gain on the play to get that first down. Coming to the near side is Thomason in a hurry. Play clock down to 4. And now a timeout going to be taken by Coach Philpott. They didn't have the guys lined up where they needed to, and he takes a timeout, and he will maybe want to have that one later on in this ball game. 6:51 to play in the third. Trojans burn their first of the second. Makes it 20. We'll take timeout with 6:51 to play. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Football. This is Trojan Football.
21-6 is your score. Girard Trojans trailing the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers here on the road in Pittsburg. And right now the Trojans move the chains. Got a first down on this possession after they turn the Panthers over on downs on their opening drive of the second half. Oh my goodness, ball shot out of there like a cannon. Ty Norris just got to try to jump on it, and they finally will. I think he's going to get it for the Trojans. But that man shot out of there like a cannon right there, Zach.
Yeah, how many times have we seen that long shotgun snap going over the head of the punter?
Well, from 1st and 10 to 2nd and a mile. I mean, that is 15, 18 yards backwards.
So the alternative is getting it kicked back to you. So
2nd and 28, 6:19 to play.
Wow.
They have 26 on the board. I'll go with it. 2nd and 26. 2 wide receiver on the far side. 1 to the near side is Thomason. Now you just want to try to survive this possession. Send Curran in motion. Turn. Handoff. Nope. Keep it. Norris makes one guy miss. Can't make the second. Spin off of him. Well played there by the Panthers. Tackle made by Sam Green. It'll move it forward just a couple. Bring up a third down and just a little longer. Less longer. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 24. 5:41 to play in the third quarter. What has been a pretty fluid moving ball game here tonight, except for the last minute of the game that lasted about 30 minutes. But other than that, it's been really fluid throughout this entire evening. Right now, though, the Trojans just trying to overcome a mistake on a snap over the head of quarterback Ty Norris. He looks downfield, lets it fly. He was beyond the line of scrimmage is what the Panther fans are arguing about. That was intended for Creed Curran. It wasn't going to be enough for a first down, but it certainly would have made a big difference because it was about 20 yards downfield. And Coach Seamatter discussing it as well, but I think he was well in front of the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball, but officials missed it, and it will bring up a 4th down and a country mile. Somebody who's driven a lot of country miles, this is equal to. So this is going to bring Caden Lallman onto the ball game to kick this away from his own 5-yard line. Caden's done well to flip the field many times this season. High snap again, but he will get it down. He'll get a foot into it. Coming to the near side. Going to be fielded by Bush, though, at the 45-yard line. He's a right side return. Penalty flag comes in. It's going to be a touchdown, but I think this is going to come back. Trojans have been bailed out a couple of times. Penalty flag sits at the 40-yard line. Coach Seamatter is hot on this near side. He is fired up about that call for the Panthers as he comes out onto the field. Again, another thing on Saturdays, if he does that on a Saturday as a college football coach, flag. You can't even step on the field anymore as coaches in that kind of manner. And that is it takes a lot to get adjusted to. So if you're one of these coaches, you want to do it. New thing they have here is that, Josh, zoom in on that. They handed him a iPad, and they can go back and watch the play immediately following the play. This is a new thing that's coming up. You see him looking down right there, and he wants to show the official. That I wouldn't be for. If you've got that technology, and They just threw another flag on Coach Seamatter. Boy, we're all over it. He didn't even put the flag in his pocket. He picked up the one flag and just threw it towards the coach. And so this could be another 15 yards back from that penalty flag. And Coach Seamatter stay on it. He's going to be
penalty against the Panthers.
I like the fire from a young coach, though. Go fight for your team a little bit, young man. And it will back him up 15 yards. He didn't like the call. Again, we showed you they go to the tablet. They can watch the play, and so he didn't like the play. But
I haven't seen a lot of them in high school get overturned, so I don't know that the chance of taking that 15 yards is going to help you. Fire or no fire.
I will tell you, he wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't a 2-touchdown lead for his team.
Yeah.
But it did cost them a touchdown, and now instead of a touchdown, they're all the way back. To their own 36-yard line with 5:01 to play in this third quarter. And so that's where the Panthers will take over here. And see if it has the effect he wants. Hand up the middle. Bevilacqua dragging defenders. Good night. That dude is big. Wow. That's going to be a big carry there. 10, about a 27-yard run, 26-yard run for Bevilacqua across the 40 up to the 39-yard line. And
I mean, he just carried number 3 sophomore Derby McReynolds about 10 yards down the field, had his arms wrapped around him, took a couple other guys to help get him on the ground.
You'd have to stack about 4 Derbies to make up the size mass that Bevilacqua makes up. Here's a carry by Simmons, and he's going to be stroked at about the 35-yard line, maybe the 34. It'll be a gain of 5 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 5. Bevilacqua was just a big, strong kid. And every once in a while you'll see these kids who have just kind of developed faster than everybody else. And as a freshman, to have that kind of size and strength is pretty special. And he's going to be one that Coach Seamatter is going to be happy to have for his first 4 years as the head football coach here for the Colgan Panthers as he tries to start his own dynasty. I mentioned early in this game, maybe in the pregame even, that the Panthers literally over the last 60, maybe 70 years have had 2 head coaches. He's the 3rd. Frank Crispino was the head coach for more than 30 years, and Chuck Smith was the head coach for more than 30 years. And here's Bevilacqua breaking more tackles, rumbling, stumbling, bumbling, dragging defenders all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Wow.
Yep. There's 10, 20, another 4. I don't know, a 10, 20, about a 30-yard kick pickup there as well. It was at the 36, I think, and now he's down to the 10. So 26-yard pickup, 26-yard run there by Bevilacqua. He's got 50 yards alone on this carry, on this possession almost, and I'd say feed him the rock. They hand it up to Simmons. He's going to keep it himself, and it'll be a modest gain there. 3:40 to play in the third quarter. Trojans trail 21-6, but the Panthers once again knocking on the door. And he's got the Panther faithful fired up here in Pittsburg.
It's a little weird kind of sitting behind enemy lines over here. I'm not used to this.
Yep. Well, they've been polite enough.
Yeah.
I guess.
You know.
Things are going well for them. That helps. 21-6. Here's your score, Trojans. Backs against the wall once again. Pistol set for Simmons. He'll turn, handoff in the belly of Max Wilson. Cuts against the grain, dragging defender into the end zone. Touchdown. Panthers on a 7-yard touchdown run by Max Wilson. Well, if you want to know about emotion and energy and momentum, you got a pretty good lesson on it right there. And Coach Seamatter did it for his team to get them fired up, and I do think it translated onto the football field. It doesn't always do that, but it did that time on the run by Max Wilson. And now the Panthers will come on to try to add to it, go to the old swinging gate.
Cal Marquardt holding.
And
Bollinger with the snap.
Snaps back, holds down, kick is on its way, and it is good. He is 4 for 4, 28-6, your score, 3:02 to play in this third quarter. The Girard Trojans are starting to find themselves in a pretty tough hole that's going to be tough to dig themselves out of. 28-6 is your score. Back in 30 seconds, you're listening to Girard Trojan football right here on Girard Sports Live.
For all your insurance and financial service needs, call your State Farm agent TJ Belcher in Girard today.
This is Trojan football.
Back out here to Hutchinson Field, 28-6 your score. The Girard Trojans trail the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers here in this third quarter. Panthers take advantage of some momentum. Trojans should have had it. They backed them up. Lots of penalties on a kickoff return that the Panthers thought should have been good for a touchdown. Instead, the Panthers get driven all the way back to their own 31 where they started the drive, but they made quick work of it. 2 minutes, minute 59, time of possession, and march it down the field 69 yards. You're waiting for it is McFarland. He's not going to have much to go. Cam's has struggled tonight. It's clear that the Panthers made a game plan for Cam McFarland to keep him from hurting them. I think they probably recognized Cam was the guy that could hurt them. And a lot of times what you do in sports and football is no different, is take the number one option away and make them beat you with the number two. And so far, Cam has struggled here tonight, and that is because of the game plan here. But the Trojans will take over at their own 20-yard line here with 2:57 to play in the third quarter. But the Panthers go 4 plays, 69 yards, and a minute 59, and cap it off at a 7-yard touchdown run by Max Wilson. Here's a snap back. Ty Norris is into the ball game. He'll keep it himself. Good play up across the 25, up near the 26-yard line, and they're going to say he was down. Boy, they got a break there to the Trojans. It's a gain of 7 on the play. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 here for the Trojans, but a good pickup there for the quarterback keeper by Ty Norris. Ty Norris in at quarterback. Kyler Siebert was having himself a really good ball game, but went out of the game with an ankle injury and has not returned so far in this ball game. And that hurts the Trojans on both sides of the football, because we said almost right before that happened is that Kyler was having himself a really good ball game offensively, but also defensively. Here's a quagmire in the backfield. And I may end up giving the Trojans, it could be most likely against the Trojans, but it could be a offsides penalty against the Panthers. He got there in an awful lot of hurry, and maybe he's just that fast. We'll see. It will be holding. None of those things. You shouldn't guess. You shouldn't assume. What's that say?
Well, I mean, you've been right about 9 out of 10 times.
It's not bad. 90%.
It's not bad.
This is the only domain in which that happens. I promise you.
Your wife would back you up on that. Yeah.
100%.
We got to get back to the hand signal conversation. I want to hear the rest of that story at some point, so don't forget about that.
That moment is gone.
It's gone.
The Trojans go backwards there on the holding penalty, and so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 15 here for the Trojans. 2 wide receiver to the far side, 1 to the near side. Shotgun again here for Norris, and there's a hard count, and a guy will drop off, and so those 10, he'll get half of them back. And so it'll be a 2nd down at about 9.
Offside penalty against the Panthers.
Well, here we go, back and forth.
Without running a play.
Update from the Andover Central game, and Pittsburg High 6-0 still with the fourth quarter. Starting in that one, in the fourth quarter of that ball game, they're in the suburbs of Wichita, where the streets are paved with gold, is what I tell a buddy of mine who lives out there in Andover. Turn, quarterback keeper, well read by Ty Norris, and then he has just stroked, and now the Trojans might be down to their 3rd-string quarterback. Ty Norris just got rocked, and
well, his legs were tied up, kind of bending backwards, and he took a shot to the head.
He's tough, and if there is a last name that is synonymous with toughness in Southeast Kansas, it's Norris.
That's absolutely right.
And he's going to get up and walk that one off a little bit. He might have to set out a play. He will, because they had to stop the play, and in comes Kyler Siebert trying to show his toughness as well. He got hurt on his ankle in that ball earlier, just in this second last drive that the Trojans had. And now here is Siebert in shotgun. Good that he can come back to the ball game. He'll roll to the near side, looking downfield, trying to make a guy miss. He does. One stiff arm, will pass it, knocked it out of bounds, and ridden hard out of bounds. The Trojans would have liked to have a ripped out of bounds from his back, as maybe his jersey, but he goes down, and these guys are going to need some ice when this thing's all said and done. But a penalty flag, holding against the Trojans. So a tough break there. And so it's going to be against the Trojans at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a penalty flag, and Coach Seamatter is going to decline it and take the result of the play, which is going to be close to a first down, but it's not going to be enough for a first down, and it will move it up, to about the 30 or 29-yard line. And it'll be a punting situation here for the Trojans, maybe. See what kind of, certainly if you have a hard count and Coach Philpott wants to talk about it, know he's going to run on the punt team. 43 seconds and counting. You got to hurry now. The time on the play clock's going to start to be a factor here if the Trojans don't get switched over quickly. 11 seconds on the play clock. 9 seconds. Ty Norris has to come back in the ball game. He's an up back, and that's the thing when you start dealing with injuries. 4 seconds. Lallman on. He's going to get it. Yeah, just as 1 second left on the play clock, it's blocked. Maybe a timeout would have been a good use of that one on that one. You're going to have a Trojans return it. Can you return it? Is that possible? I don't know how that works. Josh, you're the expert rule guy in here, aren't you? You want to take these headphones and explain what the heck that happened? No, you don't want to do that. I don't think the officials know. Well, it was blocked and the ball went forward. So I don't think you can return a play that goes forward. In my head, I don't. I wish we had some theme music we could have right now. Like, we're the three best friends that anyone could have. Yeah, these guys are going to try to work it out. I don't think you can advance that football. I don't think the Trojans can advance that football. They're going to give it to them. Maybe they can. But
if it's down the field.
If the ball had gone backwards, I don't know. That beats me. That's a good one.
We don't have a rules guy in New York.
Mike Pereira, is that his name? We'll go to him and see if he can help us. Official does do a good job coming over to the near sideline, try to explain it to Colgan's coach. But, boy, the Trojans are going to get a break there.
Wow.
A punt block that goes your way. That does not happen very often. And I'll try to write that down. Trojans just need to make something happen. Siebert's going to be caught in the backfield, and he'll be bent backwards again. Panthers are starting to...
We're sitting here discussing the rule.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Lucky that somebody's out there heads up enough just to pick it up and take it, regardless of the rule.
No
Give it a shot.
They didn't. I didn't see who did that, actually.
I think it was number 3, McReynolds.
It might have been Derby McReynolds, and so a big heads-up play by them gives the Trojans maybe a little bit more of a sign of life, and so that's the end of 3 quarters. Trojans will try to climb their way back in this one after 3. Right now, the score 28-6. We're back in 1 minute. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Football.
Paoni Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Paoni DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Paoni has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Paoni Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to paonidental.com.
This is Trojan Football.
Well, a wild end to a third quarter as the Trojans right now with the football after the punt was blocked. The Trojans picked it up. We think Derby McReynolds picked it up and returned that ball up to the 49-yard line, and so, up to the 41-yard line. And that's where the Trojans have the football here as we start this drive, moving from right to left. Latest update, Iola and Parsons. 22-12, Iola trying to get a win there in the third quarter. Turn, handoff, nope, keeping himself on the quarterback keeper by Siebert. And he'll pick up maybe a couple of the yards that were lost a moment ago. It'll be a pickup of 2 by Siebert, and we'll bring up a 3rd down and 11. Well, nonetheless, you're going to have better field position because if they end up falling on that punt block, it's going to be deep inside your own territory. Here, if you can't pick up this 11 yards, at least you're going to be able to punt it away, hopefully get it away and have a chance. And so the Trojans will have it. Play clock at 11. They haven't broke the huddle yet. Now 10-9. Trojans going to have to hustle a little bit here. 2 wide receivers to the far side. 1 to the near side is Thomason. Play clock at 3. 2. They'll get it off, and it's busted. Siebert lets it fly down the field. He's got Thomason just incomplete. Just out of his overstretched hands. That looked like it was going to be a disaster, and then it was going to be glorious. And instead, it ends up being just incomplete. And another 4th down, another punting situation for the Trojans. And we'll see what kind of craziness will happen. It never fails. I've never seen that happen that I can remember. But all the games you do, they always will come up with something random to confuse you with. And that's why guys like Mike Pereira need to have a job, because the craziness that is football. High snap again, but Lallman's going to get this one off, and it's going to be a good one. Back to receive it is Bush. He'll take it. Good job. Good coverage downfield by Gage Shirtano. If he's not there, Bush has a good return. Don't discredit the punt by Caden Lallman. It was 10, 20, 30, a 45-yard punt, no return by Caden Lallman. And that does flip the field a little bit and give the Trojans an opportunity to just try to continue to grow and develop here. Obviously, right now, things not where they want it. Colgan on top 28-6 as we are now here in this fourth quarter of this ball game. 10:58, in fact, to go in the fourth quarter. Trojans trailing 28-6. But the Trojans have had some bright spots in this ball game, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Trojans start at their own 15. A good play, as I say it. A good play there defensively for the Trojans. Simmons kept it, and he had nowhere to go with it. Tackle made by Chandler Humble. And I think likewise the Panthers had a game plan for Cam McFarland on offense. They had a game plan for Chandler Humble on defense. And the game plan most teams are going to play with him is go away from him. But guess what's on the other side? A behemoth and Clay Udock on that right side. So kind of pick your poison here as Simmons will go under center again. Going to turn, hand up the middle. Bevilacqua, who's turned into the battering ram for the Panthers. Trojans finally come over and get a good hit. And Derby McReynolds has had about enough of him and cleans him up right there, but still a good play, a gain of 6 on the play to bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Panthers.
It's like trying to tackle a Volkswagen out there.
Yeah, big kid.
Plowing.
And so
3rd down and 4.
It will bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Panthers. From their own 21-yard line. One wide receiver near side and a wing to the near side is Bush. Turn. Simmons going to keep it himself. Going to just kind of feel his way through. He's got the 1st down. Dragging defenders. Trojans got to get physical with him, bring him down. But a really good carry there for Simmons as it brings up about a gain of about 8 yards. All he needed was 4, and he got 8. And it will move the chains for the Panthers. Kyler Siebert slow to get up. Clay Udock going to go off the field as well for the Trojans defensively. 9:35 to play in the ball game. Trojans trail at 28-6 here on the road. Trojans trying to avoid falling in their 3rd straight ball game. Homecoming next week as we head back to the friendly confines of Frank Jameson Field and welcome in the Southeast Lancers. Shotgun set for Simmons, trying to bounce it as Wilson. He does. Boy, nifty footwork there by Wilson and finally brought down. Good tackle. That's Caden Lallman on the open field tackle, but not before a gain of 6 again by Max Wilson. And Southeast Lancers struggling a little bit, playing their final year in the CNC. And I think they're going to the Three Rivers League next year. Southeast has struggled in years past and much of the same. They, in fact, had 2 byes are open tonight, so an extra week of practice, I guess you could say, as they didn't play Frontenac. That's why Frontenac's at Kansas City Harmon. Mounts out Wilson again, makes one stiff arm, makes a guy miss. Chandler Humble's there in pursuit, but not before another good gain on the run by Wilson. A gain of 7. And a 1st down pickup, tackle made by Creed Curran. He's helped up off the pile by his buddy Chandler Humble, and it'll move the chains once again. 5th play of this drive that started at the Panthers' own 15-yard line and now knocking on the door of Trojan territory. The clock continues to tick here. I never know what time it is. In radio, you've got to do legal IDs, so you always keep track of the time. I don't have to do that, so I never know what time it is, but we're just now approaching the 9 o'clock hour, and the Panthers are trying to just wind this clock away and get this ball game out of here. Really grinding it. Trojan defense is on their heels. Inside Trojan territory, just across midfield. It's a gain of 4 on the play to bring up a 2nd down and 6. This will be the 7th play of this drive, and it's all been on the ground here for the Panthers. 8 minutes to play in the ball game. Trojans trail at 28-6. One wide receiver far side is Marquardt. Under center goes Simmons. Bevilacqua with a fullback. He'll get it up the middle. He's got the 1st down. Ball comes loose. Ball comes loose. Falling on. No way. No way. He was down. Trojan coaches should go get their iPads and try to rewind that one and let you know it was down. I guess the officials is, if you're in doubt, put him down. But I think that ball came out well before he hit the ground.
He was 2 foot from the ground, and the ball squirted out.
Yeah, that thing was in the air, and so was he. But I think the officials should discuss this. We're going to say it's Trojan or Panther football, but tough break. Yep. Tough break there for the Trojans, because it looked like Bevilacqua was clearly standing up when that ball came loose. A good hit from behind. I didn't see who had it, but they're going to give him enough, in fact, for a first down as he gets across the 43-yard line up near the 42. And so,
you know, it's a questionable call when you barely even get a clapping on the sideline that it's favorable.
Yeah, even these guys didn't know whether it really happened.
Yeah.
One wide receiver to the far side. Simmons under center once again. 1st and 10 here. Everybody's moving. No call there. Max Wilson going to get it. Penalty flag's going to come in at the line of scrimmage, and that's probably going to be against Sam Green for the Panthers. A holding penalty forthcoming, most likely.
Holding against the Panthers.
And it will back them up. And it'll bring up a 1st and 20, most likely, once they mark this one off. That was the 8th play of this drive that started with 10:50 to play in the ball game. So they ran over 3 minutes off the clock, approaching 4 minutes, and started their own 15-yard line. Now that penalty flag will back them up inside their own territory. And it'll bring up about a 1st and 20 here for the Panthers. Clock will wind. 7:11 to play in this ball game. One wide receiver far side, wing to the near side is Bush. Wing to the far side is Marquardt. Bevilacqua with the fullback, the tailback is Wilson, and ball's loose again. Loose football, Trojans trying to jump on top of it. They might have it. Trojans might have it. Good work here by our cameraman, and he'll zoom in on there, try to figure out where it is. Trojans just trying to get at the bottom of that pile, and you just work at it, and now the official going to, I think, indicate Panther football.
They're going to say it was down, or?
Somebody's still down there fighting for it for the Trojans. The Zoom vision's nice for me. I've never had that before as a broadcaster.
Hey, we need to work on replay.
Yeah, let's just get games done. Let's start there. That's going to be Panther football. Boy, I thought the Trojans maybe were going to get in there, and Simmons ended up jumping on top of it, I believe, and so he'll keep it for the Panthers. It'll still be a loss of one on play, bring up a 2nd down and 21. 19 is what they say as they back him up a yard. And so this is the 10th play of this drive here with 6:21 to play. Trojans just need a stop. 2 wide receivers near side, Bush and Marquardt. Simmons, turn, fire, Marquardt catch. He's got, he had a guy, Bush out in front of him, but well played by the Trojans. Siebert comes in there to make a play, along with the Trojans on that tackle. Colton Kirby, 5'6", 145-pound junior, coming in to make the play. Creed Curran helping out as well for the Trojans. It's a good pickup, but still brings up a 3rd and 14. We'll call it a gain of about 5 or 6 on that pitching catch. And it'll bring up 3rd and 14 with 5:45 to play in the ballgame. 28-6 your score. Trojans trailing the Colgan Panthers. Colgan Panthers are in 2A. They play all 3 and 4A opponents throughout the regular season. They are going to be well equipped to get into the 2A playoffs, and it's a pretty good run for them to get in there. I would be real surprised if they weren't playing for a state title at one time this year, especially with plays like this where a guy was wide open, but Simmons, hands on his head as he knows that was a missed one. Pass was intended for Whit Duggan and incomplete. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 13. That was good route by Duggan, but not a great ball by Simmons, and he knows he let that one go on him. Stops the clock with 5:24 to play.
10 out of the last 11 plays are runs, so might as well take a shot, right?
Yeah.
So I know we got some people watching, BJ, because I'm getting text messages now of rules clarifications.
Okay, great.
You know, so here, let me read one here.
Here's the punt by Bush. We'll let you get to that as we change the possession. That's a good punt by Bush. It's not going to take a very good Panther roll or Trojan roll, or Panther roll, but it'll roll back to the 20. To the 22-yard line, let it fly. What do you got?
Yeah, so I got one that says a blocked punt can be recovered and advanced by the kicking team as long as it's recovered behind the line of scrimmage. And then I got another one saying
behind the line of scrimmage. It was not. I don't think in that case.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I'm not saying it's totally applicable, but I'm getting some clarification.
I like it.
Here's another one. If a player's knee or any other part of the player's body is not in contact with the ground and the ball comes out, it is considered a fumble.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, there we go. We got some sideline broadcasters helping us out
I
here.
appreciate that. Yeah. That's in the first page of the rule book probably where they went and found that one. Yeah, no kidding. But the Trojans do hold defensively. That was a good stop, though, eventually to get him out of there. Now going to take a run, boy. A guy down. There's Creed Curran. He makes a catch across the 40, up near the 43-yard line. It's a nice pitch and catch from Kyler Sieber up to Creed Curran. Then somebody comes in late, and the Trojans are going to give it all back. Well, somebody came in, and I think to block it, and I think it's going to end up maybe being against the – I didn't see who came in and made the hit late, but I'm afraid the Trojans are going to end up giving it all back. It'll still be a good pitch and catch. 10, 15, 18, 19 yards. 19-yard pitch and catch from Kyler Siebert to Creed Curran. Now, to the player's point, on the late hit, the officials were really slow to get that whistle blow and blow that dead when Creed was held up and down.
Held by the legs.
I think they should wave this off, but I'm a bit of a homer, obviously.
Yeah, that whistle was late. I mean, it looked like he had a chance of getting hurt because guys still coming in because they're playing till the whistle.
Personal foul against Girard.
Well, they talk about it a long time, and then they end up giving it to him. So, in the books, it still counts as a 19-yard pitch and catch, but it's going to back them up another 15 yards. So, it should be after the play, so it should be first down for the Trojans. So it's a dead ball foul, and it should move the chains and bring up first down and 10 from that point. So, goodness gracious. Well, you can't have that.
The frustration definitely starting to mount out there.
Yeah, but you had something good. You can't have it followed up by something bad. One wide receiver to the near side, two to the far side. It was the best well-executed passing play they've had of the night. Seaver will send a man in motion. That's Curran. Turn, going to keep it himself. Nope, handoff to McFarland, and Camden going to be across the 30-yard line up near the 31. It'll bring up a second down and about 6 on a 4-yard pickup by McFarland. 4:47 to play in the ball game. Trojans down 28-6 here against the Colgan Panthers. Again, go back for homecoming next Friday night. Now Chandler Humble's got to come out of the ball game, I think, with equipment issues, and he's not very happy. And now the Trojans will have to bring on Clay Udock to play that guard spot that Chandler plays. And that's okay. Chandler has played that spot before, but you don't want one of your best players off the field. I think it was equipment maybe. It could be blood. Who knows? Going to work with a trainer over on that side, so maybe it is the blood part of it. I don't know. Second down and 6. Turn, handoff McFarland behind the block of Udock. Comes in and lays down a pancake block. I think Clay just decided to stay on defense mode because he just came in and just flat-backed a dude. And it was the block that sprung the first down run on a 6-yard pickup by Cam McFarland, one of his biggest of the ball game. And Clay will come out of the ball game. I did my job. I'm going to go get a break, get a drink, and get ready to go on defense. Big play there for the Trojans to move the chains. 4:01 to play in the ball game. Going to keep it. Quarterback's Ty Norris. I think I've said Siebert a couple times. Spin off as Norris. Got his back going forward. It's a 9-yard pickup on first down and 10 for the Trojans. It could be just shy of a first down, I believe. Yep, it'll be just shy of a first down, but it'll bring up a second down and 1. They're going to bring up the chains and measure. But I'm guessing it's pretty close. It's pretty close. Nothing else to give the Trojans a chance to maybe draw something up on second down and 1. Down by 3 scores. This is the best time to throw something down the field. Don't throw it away. Don't turn it over. But take a shot in the end zone that's high percentage and see what happens. Higher percentage.
Higher.
No shot towards the end zone at your own 50 or at the 50 or 48-yard line is a high percentage. But run that ball out and set it down just shy of just beyond the 47-yard line. That's where the Trojans will have it. Second down and 1. Clock winds at 3:41 to play in the ball game. Trojans have fought tooth and nail throughout this ball game. You cannot question their heart tonight. They were after it from the beginning. There it is. Throw it down the field. It's Curran. He's got it. Catch at the 30, at the 25, the 20, at the 15, the 10, the 5. Runner on his back down at the 24-yard, or at the 4-yard line, rather. It's a huge pitch and catch from quarterback Ty Norris to wide receiver Creed Curran. Creed's second big catch of the ball game, and the Trojans are knocking on the door here with 3:22 to play in the game at the 2-yard line. So that was 50-yard pitch and catch. Exactly. It was at the 47. It was 51-yard pass and catch from quarterback Ty Norris to wide receiver Creed Curran. And the Trojans need to cap it off with a score. Shotgun for Creed, or for Ty. He's going to keep it himself off the right side, dragging defenders into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans. Boy, they take advantage on that one. A couple of big pass plays. They started that drive at their own 24-yard line. Had a big play to Curran. That went back because of a personal foul penalty. And then the Trojans grounded out and got a big 51-yard pass from Ty Norris to Creed Curran. And then got him down to the 2-yard line, and Norris took it in from 2 yards out.
Boy, BJ, I think you might be getting a mic feed from the offensive coordinator over there. You're calling these plays a little scary.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing I'm good at in this world is broadcasting football games, I think. Shotgun here to go for 2, Ty Norris. And penalty flag going to come in. They'll just go for 2 again. Then it'll be a 5-play drive. It only took 2:02 off the clock. And the 2 pass plays to Curran were the difference. He ran a really good route and was wide open on that play. And it made him down the field. It makes it 28-12. Think about this, Zach. Last minute of the first half. This would be a 1-touchdown game with 3:10 to play in the game if that last minute of the first half doesn't happen.
I thought we were done talking.
I tried to. Here's Norris on 2-point conversion, throws it down the field. Well, I don't know what happened there.
A little volleyball action.
Yeah, a little volleyball. Bump, set, spike. End of that drive, though. The Trojans do get on the board. Makes a score 28-12 with 3:10 to play in this ball game. We're back at 30 seconds. I smell an onside kick coming. You're listening to Girard Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan Football.
Chicken Annie's Girard is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. Chicken Annie's of Girard serves up the area's best fried chicken and a whole lot more. Check out their weekly specials like chicken and noodles on Wednesdays, Thursday nights kids nights, and Friday boneless wings. Oh, and don't forget about those delicious homemade pies. Stop in or enjoy their mouth-watering favorites at home with carry-out and catering available. Chicken Annie's Girard, continuing a Southeast Kansas tradition. Learn more at chickenanniesgerard.com or call 620-724-4090.
This is Trojan Football.
Well, the Girard Trojans not going to go away quietly into the night. 3:10 to play in this ball game, and the Trojans score. It helped out on a 51-yard pitch and catch from quarterback Ty Norris to Creed Curran, and then a 2-yard plunge by Ty Norris capped it off, makes it 28-12. Wade Boatman going to come on to kick it away and kick the onside kick. Panthers are not lined up in a hands team situation, I don't think. They don't have anybody over there. I mean, they got some guys that looks like they got hands, but Boatman going to try to get this one. There's a squib kick. Going to be hit. Trojans got it! Oh! Trojans have it. They have it on the onside kick. And the Trojans are in business. And boy, they end up a touchdown short. I'm going to have an aneurysm from that last drive.
It's like
the first half. Creed having himself a ball game. Well, Creed had the big catch that got him down, knocking on the door, and that time it bounced off the defender. I think that hit number 3, Cade Simmons, the quarterback, was on that hands team, and hit him right in the belly, and it popped out, I think, and the Trojans were on top of it. And so the Trojans will have it offensively on the onside kick. They'll have it at the 49-yard line, throwing 49. Here's Norris rolling to the near side, sets his feet, lets it fly, throws it down the field. He wants Curran. Incomplete pass. Boy, the Trojans get a break there into double coverage. So the onside was good. The Trojans start their own 49 and throw it down the field. And a penalty flag. Yep. Penalty flag. It looks like it might be holding where it sits. Strange plays or roughing the passer, the way that is, but it's typically in that position of the field, it's going to be holding or something against the defense. We'll see. Hold it at the 42-yard line. If that's a spot, that's going to be a long way. They're not going to mark it off from the line of scrimmage. Hold. Yeah. So that'll go back to the 39 is where they'll mark this with 3:01 to play in the ballgame. Trojans get an onside kick that's good. And between the punt block that was advanced and the onside kick, the Panthers have only held the ball once in this fourth quarter. And the Trojans have it now, but that once was a 5-minute drive. Here's Norris looking to pass again. They don't give you all day. And Cal Marquardt indicated that this is not flag football.
Yeah, it kind of looked a little WWF there, like a little Undertaker clothesline.
A little clothesline action knocked him right to the ground, and that was well played. Cal Marquardt bringing the hammer. And Ty was just bouncing. He had time. To the O-line's credit, you just not going to have that much time to sit back there. And now the Trojans are looking at second and 33. Norris down the field, flushed, running, looking downfield, trying to break off tackles, and
ball's out.
Finally down around the 35-yard line. They'll say he's down, and it'll bring up a 3rd and a mile on that play. 3rd and a while. I don't want to do the math. Head hurts. 25 maybe. Across the 35 up near the 36-yard line. This drive started with some promise on the onside kick recovery at the 49-yard line, and then a holding penalty thwarted that. Trojans lucky not to turn it over on the very first play that was nearly intercepted. 3rd down and a mile. Shotgun for Norris. Straight drop. Lets it fly. Screen pass not executed. Intended for Cam McFarland. Got to give him a shot. Put that ball in his belly and at least give him a chance with his legs. It turns on 4th down and stops the clock with 1:38 to play. Most likely they pump this thing away. The Panthers should just take a knee on it and call it a ball game. We'll see, though. Trojans made them sweat a little bit. 28-12 is your score. Trojans trail. Kyler Siebert's going to come in at quarterback, I think. Those guys are switching in and out, but I think Ty Norris came out, and Kyler Siebert comes in. They're going to take a shot here. Play action. Siebert lets it fly. He's got Curran again. Creed is upended. And 4th down, going to turn it over on downs. Turn it over on downs with 91 seconds to play in this ballgame. 28-12 is your score. Trojans, a valiant effort. Colgan's going to get it back, though, here with the ball at the Trojan 36. This will be a fun one to recap. I wish it was recapped with an exclamation point at the end with the Trojan victory, but Trojans, I think they turned a bit of a corner here tonight in their performance against the Panthers. This is a pretty good football team, and like I said, this is a Panther team that I would be very surprised if they weren't playing for a 2A state title in late November. Simmons going to turn, hand off, ball's loose. Gathered up by Ty Norris. The Trojans have got it right into the hands of Ty Norris. Bevilacqua had it. Bevilacqua dropped it, and he is a freshman, don't forget. Because I'm sure one of the things that was happening as he went onto the field was secure the football. And ends up, Coach Seamatter grabs him and says, carry that football.
Almost looked like a designed pitch to the wrong team.
Pitched it right to Ty Norris. Ty will come back in at quarterback, stay in at quarterback. So 1 play and a fumble. Okay. This is becoming very difficult to chart, I'll be honest with you. So 1:26. Here's Norris. Straight drop. Throws it underneath. He's got his man. And lost his footing, did Cam McFarland. Just shy of the 40. And he'll have it. On the catch, it's just a gain of 5 on the play. Norris down the field. Never saw Max Wilson there, and lucky Max isn't going the other way. Creed was open, but behind that coverage, and you have to go through the coverage to get the ball to him or go over the top of it, and just not able to do it.
Yeah, I think the luck was on his side that Max didn't see it either.
Good update from over there in, was that Sedgwick County or Butler County? Butler County, Andover Central, Pittsburg, 12-7, fourth quarter late there. Augusta 20-14 over Chanute at halftime was our last update there.
How about that Galena 28 field Kinley 7?
Okay, so Galena going to get a win over 4A school. Norris, little pump fake action, let it fly, throw it over the top, intercepted.
There it goes.
And Cal Marquardt turn that far side. Trojans can get him out of bounds. And now penalty flag's going to come on late. And the Trojans, that's not good.
Yeah, they were kind of tied up, but there's no reason for him to.
Well, he's out on the track.
Yeah.
And throw the flag. I'm pretty sure they threw a flag, I'm guessing. That was Marquardt on the interception. So we've had a couple turnovers here. Let's turn off that crowd mic.
They're on the internet and on the radio, right?
That's true, but I'm sure these God-fearing people here don't want this. Some of the words that are being said out there to come across online forever. So there's a interception. Let's only use one sheet of paper. I don't know how in this second half, but until right now, and then they'll victory and call it.
Got a little messy there. I don't know that my stats would hold up in court here, so.
That's okay.
I'll give it a shot, though.
They don't need to. Well, the Trojans are going to end up falling here. Timeout going to be taken by the Trojans. Not sure why. 47 seconds to play in this ball game. Trojans really showed some tenacity in this ball game today, showed some fire and some energy, but ultimately going to come up a little bit short. 28-12 is your score right now, but just 47 seconds to play in this ball game. We'll keep it right here. Make sure you join us coming up in a little bit. We've got your post-game show brought to you by Evans Motors. Those guys will help us get you wrapped up here tonight on a Friday night. We'll be back in action next Friday night, as we will be back to the friendly confines of Frank Jameson Field and bringing you the Trojans and the Lancers again. The Lancers, they're struggling a little bit with some numbers and all around the school district trying to get through some hard times. And what those youngsters going to give them an opportunity to play, I think, in the Three Rivers League. I'll have to go figure that out. But they played a pretty scarce schedule this year. They didn't play Columbus. They're not going to play Frontenac. That's why Frontenac is in Kansas City tonight, picking up a ball game. And they will play the Trojans. And so the Trojans hopefully will have an opportunity to get a win next week against the Lancers. Trojans are going to take another timeout here with 44 seconds to play in this ball game. Panthers just trying to run the timeout. Trojans taking some timeouts. That's the last timeout for the Trojans. It will be the Trojans' final timeout, 28-12. Make sure you join us coming up tomorrow as the Gorillas are back at home, second straight week, to take on the Washburn Ichabods. Our pregame coverage will start. Our coverage will start at noon from Gorilla Village. Mike Snow and myself out there broadcasting live as the shenanigans begin out there. I wouldn't call it a pregame show. I'm not exactly sure what it's called or what it can be defined as, but it's 1 hour of fun. And then we will start our official coverage of Gorilla football at 1 o'clock with Eddie Lomshank and the pregame show, and then kick off at 2 o'clock from Carney Smith Stadium as the Gorillas trying to bounce back as well. And rough time for this old broadcaster. A couple of teams I love and a couple of teams that I cover in some doldrums right now. But hopefully it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we'll see how the Trojans can turn things around here at this point in the season. I think they did a good job here tonight to get going in the right direction. Simmons going to take a knee, and that will wind the clock down. Trojans will get the ball back, or a punt here with about 20 seconds to play. The last minute of the first half and the last minute of the second half were our longest periods of time, I think, in this ball game. He won't be able to stop it. And it will be, about 9 seconds when they get the ball to punt it away. So Trojans might have one last-ditch effort. Coach is coaching the game, not the scoreboard, and this is what you would do in that situation. Panthers end up calling a timeout just to bring on the punt team with 6 seconds to play. They take a delayed game is what they do, with 6 seconds to play. And so that'll back them up, and they will punt it away. Evans Motors postgame show coming your way in just a little bit. We've got your final stats. Zach's number. Did you bring an abacus? Is that what that is? He's over there totaling up the stats right now, and then we've got your player of the game brought to you by Mini Stock, Community National Bank and Trust. Interview with Coach Philpott as well, all still to come here on the Evans Motors postgame show. Here's the kick away by Bush. Gathered up by Cam McFarland, near side return. and knocked it out of bounds with time expiring, and that's how this one will end. And so Colgan punts it, and the Panthers, the Trojans, end it with the final score 28-12, as the Trojans will fall to 1-4 on the season. Panthers move to 2-3 on the year. And the Trojans will try to bounce back next week as they take on the Southeast Lancers. They're on homecoming at Frank Jameson Field. Final score again, 28-12. Trojans fall here to the Panthers. We'll talk about it next year on the Evans Motors postgame show. And we will get you all those things I just mentioned just a moment ago. Evans Motors postgame show. Those boys at Evans Motors have been helping get people on the road since 1935. Stop by the lot just south of Pittsburgh. See Nate or Eddie for a test drive and let them find you the vehicle that is right for your check. Or check out their online show and make sure it's the right one for your check as well. But you can also check out their online showroom at evansmotors.net. We'll talk to Coach Philpott here on the postgame show. We got your final stats, all that and more still to come here on the Evans Motors postgame show right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the four-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between, Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburgh.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their number one goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judd Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members so they are able to make the best decisions. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, or Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
First National Bank of Girard is proud to be the oldest bank in Crawford County, serving the area since 1878. With 139 years of experience, it's no surprise First National Bank of Girard has such a great reputation for quality customer service. First National Bank of Girard is committed to providing the best quality products and services, including online banking and bill pay, loans, CDs, and more. Use the convenient drive-up window or come on in and see all of the friendly faces at First National Bank of Girard. Proud supporter of Trojan Athletics.
When you're looking for Frigidaire innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Hydrix. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Frigidaire appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months.
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
This is Trojan football.
Back out here live, Hutchinson Field in Pittsburgh. The Girard Trojans fall here to 1-4 on the season. A tough, hard-fought 28-12 loss to the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers here in this one. Let's recap this ball game and let you know how we got to where we are. Trojans started this ball game with the football, but went 3 and out, gave it back to the Panthers. Panthers, their opening drive of the game, went 6 plays and 75 yards, capped off on a 34-yard touchdown run by Jeremiah Bush. So with 8:32 to go in the first quarter, Trojans trailed 7-0. Trojans punted away on their second possession. Panthers get it back. They have to punt it away. Trojans get their first score of the ball game as they took over at the Colgan 28-yard line after a blocked punt by Matt Saban. Gave the Trojans the ball at the 27-yard line inside Panther territory. Kyler Siebert had some good runs, at the 28-yard line. Kyler Siebert had a good run, 27-yard run at one point. A 1-yard touchdown run by Kyler Siebert on the third play of that drive made it a 7-6 ball game after they missed the point after attempt. Forced the Panthers to punt. Trojans get it back at their own 28-yard line. They go 2 plays into the first quarter. As we start the second quarter of play, the first play of the second quarter was an interception by Jacob Delasega with 11:53 to play in the first half. But the Trojan defense, the Panthers would take immediate advantage of that as Columbus would take over with 11:53 to play at the Trojan 14-yard line. Deep inside Trojan territory, 3 plays later, a touchdown pitch and catch from Cade Simmons to Jeremiah Bush from 28 yards out. That would be his second ball game, his second catch of the ball game, second touchdown of the ball game. First through the air, made it 14-6. Trojans would get it back. A nice drive at their own 36-yard line. They drive it down all the way inside Panther territory on an 8-play drive that took a little over 3.5 minutes, but eventually turn it over on downs at the Panther 25-yard line. Colgan would get it back, and they would end up going and punting it away. We'd have a lot of punts down the stretch of the first half, but then the Trojans would get the ball back at their own 46-yard line. Get the ball back with their own 46-yard line with 57 seconds to play in the first half. Go 3 plays, end up fumbling it, knocked 14 seconds later back to the Panthers. Panthers would get it. They'd go 4 plays. They would only take 19 seconds off the clock in that drive and eventually punch it in on a 12-yard touchdown run by Cal Marquardt, pitch and catch by Cal Marquardt from Cade Simmons. Trojans would run out the final 19 seconds and go down into the halftime, down 21-6. Colgan would take over at their own 45-yard line. They go 5 plays, turn it over on downs. A great defensive stop by the Trojans. Trojans would get it back and punt. Then the Panthers would get it back. They would add to their touchdown to be their final touchdown of the ball game as they would score with 3:02 to go in the third quarter on a 7-yard touchdown run by Max Wilson, make it 28-6. And from that point on, really, the Panthers did not touch the ball only one other time in the fourth quarter. It was a long drive, but it ended up at no points. But then late in the ball game, the Trojans, some shenanigans as they finally get on the board in the second half. They started their own 24-yard line. The big play on that one is a 51-yard pitch and catch from Ty Norris to Creed Curran. Got him down to the 2. Norris did the rest, punched it in, made it 28-12, and then an onside kick was recovered, but the Trojans turn it over on downs. Colgan gets it back. 1 play at a fumble. Trojans get it back. They throw an interception. Panthers kneel on it to end the ball game. It was a fun, furious second half. The Trojans do fall 28-12. We're going to step away, take another timeout. We'll come back, talk to the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, here on the Postgame Show on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Producers Co-op of Girard has been serving the needs of farmers and ranchers in southeast Kansas for decades. With a wide range of products and services, you'll be sure to find what you're looking for. Contact the Agronomy Center for seed recommendations, seed treatments, crop scouting, and more, or stop by the farm store for feeds, equipment, supplies, clothing, and accessories. Producers Co-op also has bulk fuels and propane available. To see everything Producers Co-op Association has to offer, visit them online at www.girardcoop.com or give them a call at 620-724-8241. Mathis Drug Store Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drug Store, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
This is Trojan football.
Back out here live at Hutchinson Field in Pittsburg, Kansas, Girard Trojans and the Colgan Panthers. Panthers get the best of the Trojans here tonight, 28-12 your final score. Joining us now, the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. His interviews post-game brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust. They've been serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. And Coach, boy, a really hard-fought game between your boys and the Colgan Panthers. Physical. These guys are going to need ice tonight. Know both sides of it, I think. But you guys, we talked in our pregame show. You've used the metaphors, light bulb coming on, turning the corner, those types of things. From my assessment, right off the cuff, although it wasn't the outcome you wanted, it feels like you guys may have done that a little bit here tonight at some times.
Yeah, it was. I think it was our first complete game.
Yeah.
And by means it wouldn't flawless. I mean, there were plenty of mistakes, and then you can look at the scoreboard and see that for sure. But it was our first complete effort for 4 quarters, and I think our guys will be sore. And there's some guys cramping on a nice cool night that they realize now what a 4-quarter fight is, and that's where they got to be. And if we can do that, I know it stings and I know it hurts, and it's got to hurt. If it doesn't, you're not caring enough. And so I hope it does, but I hope they can learn from the steps we made. And there were a couple very good turning points in that game, and I think our guys could start to see themselves doing some things. So it was good.
Yeah, it by far would probably be the one game that give you the most film to work through in this ball game against a really good football team in the Colgan Panthers. A couple of guys to highlight tonight. Kyler Siebert, I thought, came out and played his best ball game at quarterback, reading it and running between the tackles behind those big guys.
Yeah, we try to simplify a few things, and then if you do that, you got to get your quarterback in the run game, and we kind of found a way to do that a little bit, and got bodies there, student body right, student body left a little bit, but we were doing it pretty well. So he had a good game running, ran the ball, and there was a couple opportunities in the passing game that we just didn't throw very well. We weren't sharp our feet. I think we're a little tired there, and that's gonna come. He played more too. I mean, I was planning on playing Ty in the first half, and Kyler was running the ball well, and I think that's what we were doing well. So I kind of just went with it and stayed with it. But Ty played well for us tonight on defense too. And so that's those guys get in there and it keeps them in the action a little bit. So that's a positive thing.
I do have to ask you about the late in the first half of the decision to get the ball back with under a minute to play and try to throw it down the field a little bit. It's kind of a tweener situation, I know, at that point, but the risk reward about giving the ball back to the Panthers and allowing them to have a short field.
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20,
Sure.
I guess. What are you going to do? I feel like you can go down there and throw a couple balls and get a first down or two, maybe put yourself in position with it. But we try to run the ball there on third down, I think, and give them back. And I think there's a couple things that go against you, and they get the ball and score, which really hurts. And we had one like that last week at the end of the second quarter. So, you live to learn. You gamble a little bit. Like I said, you can always look back and say you're 100%. You guys, you can always judge. So we'll figure it out.
Bottom line is you guys bounce back from a couple of pretty lopsided losses against some really good teams in Columbus and Galena, and you got to feel good and get to go back home, take on Southeast Lancers, a team that's struggling a little bit, but certainly start to turn the corner here in the season because we are in the second half now as we go back home. And what's some important factors you got to do to get going in the right direction now? Right now, sitting at 1-4.
Win a game, that's for sure. That helps. Get one, and then a few more might follow. But guys, we got to learn from tonight. And if we play hard for 4 quarters and execute, I think we executed fairly well tonight. There's some things we could do better, but the effort was there. The belief was there, I think, really, and that's the thing that we got to have. I mean, this would have been a big win for us for sure. They're a good team. They do some things very well, and we made some mistakes there at some places, and things we should have. We trained. We worked all week, and we just got caught looking and whatever here, and so we got to see those things and move forward. And I've been saying it for 4 weeks, but it's coming. I think there's some things. You saw some things tonight on both sides of the ball that our guys are starting to figure some things out. So that's good.
Yeah, really inspiring effort there by your boys tonight. I really feel good about the way they played, but end up coming up short. Coach, we appreciate your time as always, and good luck next week against the Lancers.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Coach Philpott, joining us here on the Community National Bank and Trust the Evans Motors postgame show. His interview is brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, and he does have the boys believing in what they're trying to do here. It was obvious tonight in a fine effort by the Trojans. Just came up a little bit short against a pretty good Colgan Panther football team. We're going to step away, take our final timeout. We'll come back and wrap things up here from Hutchinson Field. Got our final stats, and we'll name our player of the game next on the Evans Motors postgame show on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Peony Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Peony DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Peony has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Peony Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to peonydental.com.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service as their trucks crisscross Southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Calls is the first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
Colgan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in Southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Good luck, Trojans, from your friends at Colgan. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
This is Trojan football.
The distant sounds of a locomotive rolling down. Oh, I put up the crowd mic, and I think you took it down already. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's up. Maybe turned off. That doesn't matter. It's okay. Yeah, you turned it off. There.
For the interview.
Got that.
There we go.
Train sounds there. That's right. Wrapping things up here from Hutchinson Field. One final time, the Girard Trojans fall here tonight, 28-12 to the Colgan Panthers. And we got our final stats brought to you by. Final stats, as always, brought to you by. I should have that. I had it here a second ago. Westridge Assisted Living, allowing seniors to remain active and enjoy their worry-free, stress-free environment. Stop by and see Kathy and Girard to learn more about what Westridge Assisted Living has to offer your loved ones. Zach?
All right, BJ. We're going to go ahead and focus on the building here. They got something started, and they're going to build on it. And so let's go ahead and go over these final game stats. We saw more offense in this game than we probably did the previous two combined out of our starters. So Siebert had a total of 16 carries for 91 yards, and that's even with that little ankle problem coming out a little bit early, and Norris coming in for him. A great game for him all around. McFarland ended up with 12 carries for 35 yards. Like you said, that they keyed on him. They made their game plan around him. That really showed, kind of hurt his totals a little bit, but he's still out there grinding, working hard. Norris steps in, does what he does, running all over the place, managed to take 6 carries, calls his own number, and racks up 25 yards. Big theme for the second half was Creed Kern out there. 3 catches for 76 yards, instrumental in getting that ball down there, getting that score in the second half. So, not enough to get him in the winning column on the scoreboard here against a good Colgan team, but, step in the right direction.
Very good job. Final stats there brought to you by Westridge Assisted Living. Player of the game brought to you by Mini Stop. Before or after the game, be sure to swing by Mini Stop. Locally owned, family store since 1980. Mini Stop has a great selection of drinks, snacks, and more. Mini Stop, fueling Trojans for nearly 40 years. Located on the northwest corner of the four-way stop in Girard. We discussed early in that game, he did go out with an injury briefly, but I think Kyler Siebert really orchestrated this offense and really played defense strongly. Honorable mention, Creed Kern as well. I think Creed had those 76 yards you mentioned in receiving, but he had his hands full tonight defensively against Jeremiah Bush, and so Kyler, our player of the game, Creed, an honorable mention there for those guys. Against final score 28-12, Trojans fall here to the Colgan Panthers, fall to 1-4. Try to get right next week as we wrap up the regular season portion of conference play. Next week against the Southeast Lancers, and then district play begins in earnest on the road at Anderson County in week number 7. And so it is as fast as football, as long as football season seems to take to get here, it flies by, and things are starting to progress a little bit, and we're going to have every minute of it for you right here on Girard Sports Live. Be sure to go share this video. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. We had a few subscribers tonight as well, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Girard Sports, and on Facebook.com/Girard Sports Live. That's going to do it for us here tonight. For our cameraman, Josh Lettner, for my partner, Zach Adams, and BJ Harris saying good night from downtown Pittsburgh. Trojans fall tonight 28-12 to the Colgan Panthers.
Thanks for tuning in.
This is Trojan Football on your new home for Trojan Athletics, Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live is presented by Colgan Telephone, your community technology partner. Also by Ag Choice of Hepler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Bradshaw Collision Repair, Brumback Service Center, Call Service, Chicken Annie's of Girard, Chris Paoni, DDS, Community National Bank and Trust, Evans Motors, Exchange State Bank, Farm Bureau Financial Services, First National Bank, Fort Scott Community College, Girard National Bank, G&W Foods Family Super, Hydrix TV and Appliance, Canar Eye Care, Lehman Realty, Larrett Ceramics, Mathis Drug, McClellan Sanitation, Medical Lodges Girard, Mini Stop, Norris Outdoor, Pearls and Curls Boutique, Producers Cooperative Association, TJ Belcher at State Farm Insurance, and Westridge Assisted Living. This is Trojan Football